Let me know. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Mic check. What's up? Ask Nathaniel, the billionaire mindset. What's up, Soup Bone? Let me know if you guys can hear me before I get to start talking my jazz. I'm gonna hit y'all all in the R. Kelly feelings tonight. I'm gonna hit you all in the I believe I can fly. I'm gonna hit you all in the you remind me of my Jeep feelings. I'm gonna hit y'all all in your feelings tonight. What's up, IB1 for life? Okay, good. Y'all can hear me. Let's get this party started. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm your favorite pain in the ass from the Bronx, New York, Jen. Although Mama is on the West Coast now. If you guys know, okay? On the Block with Jen at Gmail. If you have an idea or a gripe for me, I may or may not answer. Who knows? On the Block with Jen on Instagram, on the Block with Jen on Facebook, and of course, right here on the Block with Jen on YouTube. Okay? You want to buy me a smoothie? The Cash App is at the bottom. You guys always ask me. It is there. It is scrolling on the bottom. Okay? You can't miss it. Tonight's topic is the verdict that shook the community. Okay? R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years. But don't fret because it's just only one case, mi gente. He has 2 trials coming up. So expect some more numbers thrown at him very, very soon. Before we get into R. Kelly, I think that I should touch on this McDonald's gate. Okay? I'm sure you've seen it. The video went viral. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I think it's what happens when 2 hood boogers have children, right? Now, I know you guys like absolutes. You know, the man haters want me to side with the women. The women haters want me to side with the men, right? You guys like absolutes. You either want to hate all women or hate all men, right? Well, no, I'm right down the middle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I'm being lazy today. I'm not playing any videos for you guys, but I'm talking about the video of the man who brought lunch, a Happy Meal for his child, and the baby's mother, okay, made it a big to do because that man didn't bring food for her other children, who he's not the father of, okay? So if you've seen it or haven't seen it, you can Google it. You can look for it. Everybody's talking about it. It has divided the community, right? Because some women are like, hey, he should have brought food for all the children. The men are like, no, those aren't his kids. Let her call her other baby daddy, right? So I'm talking about that viral video. Some people are like, no, it's her fault. No, it's his fault. I happen to think it's 2 hood boogers had a baby, and that is what happened. It could have easily been resolved with a phone call, a little bit of communication, you know, that thing people say that they like doing and know how to do, but don't really know how to do when it comes down to it. So here's my opinion, and then we're going to move on to the topic of the night. But my opinion is it could have very easily been handled with a phone call. So here's what I think. Okay, y'all ready? Here's what I think. I think that that man knows that she has other children. Wasn't very nice for him to think, hey, you chomp on these nuggets in front of your siblings. With that said, I'm not pocket watching that man. I don't know how much money he has. But I think it would have been appropriate for him to pull the child out of the house, right? And let the kid chomp on the nuggets outside. Personally, as a mother, I don't have multiple baby fathers. So I don't know what that's like to deal with like multiple baby fathers, and you got to balance money and time and things like that. But as a mother, right, I am a mom. As a mother, I wouldn't want this child eating some McDonald's and these 3 other kids not eating McDonald's. It's just rude. I mean, it's rude in general. It's rude for adults, let alone children who are impressionable and have their psyche very easily broken, right? It's just rude. Like I wouldn't bring a meal in front of my friends or my family without offering, like, hey, do you want some? Or are we all gonna get something to eat? That's just in general. So you really have to be careful how you raise children when they have different fathers because it takes just a little nudge to ruin a child forever. Okay? That's why we hear 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, and 50-year-olds talking about, oh man, one time I was 5 years old and my mother X, Y, and Z. Or one time I was 10 years old and my father X, Y, and Z. Children are very delicate. They're very impressionable. So I don't think it was right for him to bring food to just that one child. But as a mother who knows she has multiple children, okay, she should have taken control of the situation. Obviously, her kid was hungry. I don't know how the father got involved without her taking care of what they should eat at the house prior to the father being contacted. So I don't know. There's still some details that I'm looking at side eye because obviously you know your children are hungry before that man pulled up. So why aren't you fixing a meal for all the children? So the father doesn't have to pull up with one meal for one child that's his. So honestly, I just think two hood buggers had a kid, and this is the result. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's putting the priority. Nobody's making the children the priority because the children are the priority. It seems like the dude and the chick already have bad blood. They don't get along, and the children are being used as pawns, as normally happens in those hood booger relationships, right? You know, people have sex happens, babies come after sex, and then it's two people that didn't really like each other to begin with. But now we're stuck with a kid, right? That we're dividing up, to and fro. So I think it could have been solved with communication. I'm not taking her side, and I'm not taking his side. I think they're both stupid. I think they're both dumb, stupid, and inconsiderate to those children. Is that man obligated to those other children? Because you motherfuckers like to misconstrue what people say. Is that man obligated to those other children? No, he is not obligated to any child of his other than his own. Okay? If those children, all of them live with the mother, she is obligated to make sure they are all eating and eating evenly. With that said, she should have communicated with that particular baby father and said, hey, look, thanks for the McDonald's, but I don't want little, Tyrone to have chicken nuggets and his siblings aren't eating chicken nuggets. All kids like McDonald's. I'm going to make them a meal. It's very simple. A Happy Meal costs what, $2, $3? I find it hard to believe that the man didn't have enough to get the other kids $2, $3 meals, but maybe he didn't. Maybe $2, $3 was all that was in his budget. Great. So, as a mother, I would think that either everybody eats or nobody eats. That's the type of mother I am. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can fight over who was right, she was right. He was wrong. She was wrong. He was wrong. No, these are two hood buggers that got together and had a child, and she had a child either after that child or before that child, and they both knew what they were dealing with, right? It's like the story of the grasshopper and the scorpion. Motherfucker, you knew I was a scorpion before you took me across the river, okay? I stung you on the other side, and then the frog is like, why did you sting me? And the scorpion says, you knew I was a scorpion before you took me across the river. And that's how a lot of these relationships happen, okay? It's two people who just want to have sex, and then babies come behind that. But it's two people who should not be having children, okay? If a man can't consider that there's other children going to be there and it's a little room for his kid to eat McDonald's and the other ones aren't, he's a dick. And if the mother's going to have multiple children and think that that one man is supposed to take care of all her other kids, then she's a dick too. So I'm right down the middle with these two people. You guys can pick sides according to what experiences you've had in life. I know women that have had bad experiences with men, want to hate on the guy, and men who've had bad experiences with their ratchet ass baby mamas want to take it out on her. Everybody's projecting. Everybody's projecting their personal issues on every video that goes viral. I don't have those issues. Y'all can have at it. I'm down the middle with this. They're both assholes. And the children suffer, right? Because the children have to witness the arguments. The children have to witness this kid is eating nuggets and I'm not. Where's my Happy Meal? The other children have to deal with this father cares for this kid more. This has been happening in our neighborhood since the beginning of fucking time, okay? Degeneracy is the culture, whether you like it or not. And speaking of degeneracy, it's a great segue for R. Kelly. Let's get into that degenerate, okay? Like I said, I believe I Can Fly feelings gonna be hurt tonight. You don't see nothing wrong with bumping blind. Those feelings gonna be hurt. You know what I mean? So let's get into this. Let's get into this. R. Kelly gets 30. Do Black people want justice or criminality pass? Do Black people want justice or criminality pass? So before I get into that, good to see you guys tonight. Good to see you. What's up, Haran? Haran says, those other children aren't his responsibility. His child is his obligation. Now, if he wished to feed the other children, that's on him. Yeah, okay. CC, I agree with you. 30 years is ridiculous. He should have had life and been castrated. I believe, yeah, 30 years is ridiculous. He should have been castrated and did life. I agree with you. Absolutely ridiculous. So, again, Haran, my mic is fucking up. Let me go out and come back really quickly. Exactly, Don Levon. 30 years is not enough. But I'm going to talk about why. Am I sounding like I'm underwater so I could go out and come back in? If not, I'll address Henry's comment. How's it sounding, Haran? Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Oh, and welcome all my new subbies. I got a lot of new subscribers. Welcome, people. It is good to see you. I'm glad you're here. How's my mic sounding, Haran? How am I sounding? Still underwater? All right, I'm gonna go out and come back in really quickly. Bear with me. Can you hear me now? 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 Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me get a thumbs up or a yes so I could get into this degenerate R. Kelly. Thank you, Veganista. Okay, so let's get into this degenerate. The reason why I'm, taking the angle of taking the angle of do Black people want justice or criminality pass is because it seems to me online, and this is it seems to me that there's a huge demographic of our communities that can't discuss R. Kelly sexually assaulting girls as young as 12 without bringing up Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, Kevin Spacey, Ghislaine Maxwell. It seems like we can't deal with the rapist, the sexual assault in our communities without bringing in the whites, right? And in that melee of stupidity and degeneracy, right, the victims get re-victimized and get lost in that discussion. While you guys are, complaining and crying about oppression and racism and our justice system isn't just and is racist, while y'all are doing that, the victims of these pedophiles and these rapists, you're re-victimizing them. You're also sending a message to the women and the young girls in your family that a degenerate, okay, a pedophile like R. Kelly has every right to do what he's doing because Epstein exists and Weinstein exists. It's to the point where Epstein is dead, Weinstein's in prison for a long time, and he has another trial coming up in October, if you didn't know, because a lot of you motherfuckers try to pull the, what about Weinstein? Well, Weinstein is in prison, okay? And he has another trial coming up in October, so they're not done with him, just like your homie R. Kelly. This is just one case. R. Kelly has another trial coming up, so he's going to get even more time. Okay? So all you, what about Weinstein? Weinstein's in jail. What about Epstein? Epstein is dead. Okay? So let me address your selective outrage, because you guys are very selectively outraged, very selectively outraged. The problem with your outrage regarding R. Kelly is that you are dismissing, okay, and acting like Black women and young Black girls are expendable. Like they're not even in the conversation with you guys. You just want to know why Ghislaine Maxwell gets less time than R. Kelly. You give zero fucks about the trauma, about the assaults, about the PTSD, about the mental damage, about the lives that have been ruined by R. Kelly. Y'all could give a fuck. Y'all just want to know, why did Ghislaine Maxwell get 20 years? I want her to get as much as R. Kelly. So while y'all are having those conversations, okay, the message you are sending out to the masses is that Black women and Black girls are expendable. It doesn't matter what he did to them. The point of the story is, according to y'all, why did he get 30 years? So do you want a criminality pass or do you want justice? Because I think the most egregious crime that any person walking on two legs could commit is harming a child. So let's be clear. R. Kelly harmed children. Now, I know you have unresolved issues with adult Black females, okay? I know you have lots of those. You still sniffing them Kevin Samuels lines on your mirrors. I get that. But now we're talking about children. We're talking about little Black girls as young as 12 years old, which is the most egregious crime anybody on two legs can commit, is harming a child. And yet and still, you want a pass for that because white pedophiles and white rapists exist. You want a pass. So it sounds to me like you don't want justice. You just want a pass for criminality. You just want a pass to rape and sexually assault and molest. Okay? It has nothing to do with justice. Because listen to this. And you're going to like this one. You're going to like this one. The Black molesters, the Black pedophiles in the Black community run rampant and never see one day in a cell. I'm talking about your fathers. I'm talking about your uncles. I'm talking about your brothers. I'm talking about your nephews. Okay? It runs so rampant, okay, that joke is a staple in comedy. That joke, your uncle was a pedophile, your dad, he's still at the barbecue, your brother's touching the kids. It is a staple in comedy, that joke. How y'all still let the touchy uncle, Chester the molester, you still let him come to the barbecue. And what do the women say? Hey, keep little Johnny away from him because you already know. You already know how Jamal gets down. Just keep the babies over here. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can find solace in all those uncles, all those brothers, and all those fathers, and all those grandfathers in your families who've gotten away with molesting children and never saw one day in a cell. To this day, some of you are probably watching molested as fuck right now, knowing, yeah, I did have that uncle. Yeah, my grandfather did touch me funny. Yeah, my brother did touch me funny. He never went to jail. Nobody ever said anything because, we can't talk about family business outside. Let's not talk about family business outside. But some of you are watching me right now and experience that. Did your uncle go to prison? Did your grandfather go to prison? Did your daddy go to prison? Did your brother go to prison? They're all running rampant and at the family reunion and at the barbecue. So you guys really need to shut the fuck up as far as justice not being fair to R. Kelly, because your uncles and brothers and nephews, they're all running free and they're at the barbecue next summer with you. So what are you talking about? The justice system is skewed. With that said, of course, oppression exists. Of course, systemic oppression exists. Of course, racism exists. Of course, systemic racism exists. It's all real. It is all real. Yes, Becky Suan will have her application looked at before a Tamika Johnson. Yes. Yes, it's easier for John Smith to get a loan than it is for a Tyrone Jackson to get a loan. Yes, you can go look for an apartment in a certain neighborhood and not get accepted because you have melanin. Yes, it is true. It is a fact. This is America. Very racist country. Okay? It's bars, stars, eagles, racism, and guns here. That is a fact. That is true. It is solidly true. However, if you want to talk about a skewed justice system, your uncles are still free. Your daddies are still free. Your brothers are still free. Your nephews are still free. All them creeps in your family who touch the kids, and all y'all do to reconcile is, oh, look, you know how Jamal is. If he come to the barbecue, just keep the girls away from him. That's the most justice the children in your family have ever gotten. They have to see these motherfuckers at the barbecue, at the family reunion, at the birthdays, at the graduation parties. So maybe you can find solace in that, right? And help the victims of R. Kelly out, and just, even if you think he should be free, just shut the fuck up. Like, consider Black women and Black children for once in your ratchet ass, raggedy creep lives. Just the one time. Just the one time. Now, with that said, I'm having fun blocking you motherfuckers on my social media because I'm not going to argue with you. I don't argue with rapists and pedophile apologists. Y'all are weird. You motherfuckers are weird. And I always say, just for shits and giggles, ask the women in your family, have they ever been touched funny or made to feel uncomfortable at a job or at a family reunion or a member of their family? I think you'll be surprised by what you hear, because you guys do a lot of talking and barking around the children in your family or the women in your family because you think it never happened in your family. Meanwhile, you could be opening your mouth and talking about R. Kelly should be free next to your sister who's been touched funny or sexually assaulted, but she was just afraid to open her mouth because idiots like you are running rampant in the family, right? And I'm talking to the women too, because a lot of you ratchet ass bitches have gone to R. Kelly concerts and have told that man while he was singing on stage to pee on you. And if you think I'm kidding, just so you know how degenerate, okay, this culture is, how degenerate this culture is. And you can stick this in your ass wherever you see fit. Whatever orifice this fits in and brings you joy, bring it there. But if you like, you can take a break from watching me or wait till I'm done and YouTube search Black women at R. Kelly concert tell him to pee on them. Black women at R. Kelly concert tell him to pee on him. It is on video. I am not making this up. And it's happened more than once. Now, you imagine a girl that was groomed at the age of 12, okay? Sexually assaulted by R. Kelly. We already know he married Aaliyah, okay? Now, Aaliyah was built like a 12-year-old boy, but some way, somehow, R. Kelly was like, yup, make that 15-year-old my wife. These things are not made up. It's all on record. He married that child. Okay, he married that child. That's a fact. So to still hear people yelling, yo, you're just racist. If you ask me, he didn't get enough time. Because you don't ruin somebody for life and then go through 30 years and then it's okay. Now he's going to get more because he has more trials coming up. But like one of his victims said, he's been doing this for 30 years. So 30 years was a great sentence. But I think pedophiles should be castrated. You could quote me on that. They should be castrated. Because you cannot fix a pedophile. You know, there's some mental illnesses you can't fix. You can't fix narcissists and you can't fix pedophiles. Pedophiles think innately that sex with children is what they're supposed to be doing. You can't fix that. You can't lock it up and change it. You can't lock it up and erase it. If R. Kelly was free today, he'd still be looking for 12 to 15-year-olds to have sex with. If he was free today. Now, people are making all kinds of excuses. Oh, but you know, R. Kelly was touched too. His sister molested him and his brother. And I believe it 100%. I believe that ratchet was molesting them little boys when they were in the house. R. Kelly. Do I feel bad for R. Kelly? No. Not even a little bit. Because there are people who have been molested, abused sexually, physically, verbally, all kinds of abuse, and they don't grow up to be animals. And some people are damaged goods. It's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I'm compassionate enough to know that it is unfortunate when you break a child at 4, 5, 6 years old. It is unfortunate for that human being that had so much potential. But once something is broken and it goes on to live a life where it's breaking other children, you have to get rid of it. Do you understand that? Do you guys understand that? It's unfortunate that him and his brother and whoever else, the sister was free willy-nilly to molest them boys. It's unfortunate. But going back to what I said, I'm asking you, do you think that motherfucker, that sister, do you think she saw one day in a cell? Do you think that R. Kelly's sister saw one day in a cell for molesting her little brothers? No. No. Because it's what I said before. These pedophiles run rampant in our communities and they don't see one day in a cell. So you got that on your side, guys. You may not like that R. Kelly got 30 years because he told you remind him of his Jeep. But you got on your side that all your uncles and sisters and aunties and grandfathers, okay, and neighbors are still running free and they'll never see a day in court. I hope that makes you feel better about the unjust justice system. Does that make you feel better? But I think it is absolutely disgusting, the celebrity worship that goes on in this country. There's so many hills that you could die on regarding racism, regarding oppression. There are a lot of hills you could die on. There's some real unjust shit going on just because of your melanin. I wouldn't recommend R. Kelly be the hill you die on, especially because his victims were the same race as you. Now, I'm sorry, but when you talk about the Harvey Weinsteins and the Epsteins and the Ghislaine Maxwells and the Kevin Spaceys, this is how I see that. These people are all white, okay? They're targeting and victimizing people in their community, okay? Usually little white girls and little white boys that have, great two-parent homes and can afford attorneys and can afford, Discovery ID is going to tell their story for 20, 30, 40 years. I lost count of the JonBenet Ramsey documentaries. I mean, white people are on it. Okay, I lost count of the Weinstein documentaries. There's about 13 or 14 Weinstein documentaries. I saw one on Epstein the other day. A Kevin Spacey one is coming up. Like, those white people are on it. The whites are on it. They do not play. Okay, the whites are on it. We're gonna be hearing Weinstein documentaries for a long time to come. All right. White people like a good white crime story. I watch ID. I watch white people kill each other all day long. I go to sleep to that shit. You watch, Discovery ID, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? So I'm sorry. I'm none too concerned about what they're doing in their communities with their people. Because if a little white girl walks into a courtroom and says, that white man touched me, it's going to be documentaries. The police are going to be on it. There's going to be outrage. Now, on the opposite end, the outrage I see in our fucking communities is you're mad that the pedophile whose song you liked back in the 90s is getting locked up, although he's victimizing people that look like you. What level of mental illness is that? Because from the outside looking in, you all look like a bunch of degenerates who deserve everything you get. That is what you look like from the outside. A bunch of degenerates, where you even excuse and defend your rapists and your pedophiles. What is that about? So they were outside, Gloria Allred, they're talking about the sentencing. They're out on the sidewalk, you know, they have the little press conference. Black women and black men are in the background yelling at R. Kelly's victims. You're a liar. This system is racist. You're a liar. Free R. Kelly. These aren't white people going at these black victims. These are black people going at these black victims. These are black people going at these black victims. Make it make sense, because the math ain't mathin'. R. Kelly is guilty. He's guilty. What that has to do with Epstein or Weinstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, I do not know. But you know how they say, like, oh, we came from kings and queens. Look at our history, kings and queens. Let Taraji P. Henson tell it. Let there be a BET Awards. We came from kings and queens. There's a lot of gold on stage, Egyptian statues. But you have to understand that a lot of people also came from punks and assholes and cowards and house Negroes. You do know those people had children too, right? You do know that that bloodline exists too, right? That bloodline exists. Not all of us came from kings and queens, okay? Not all of us came from warriors, okay? There were other bloodlines in existence. There were cowards. There were house Negroes. There were, you know, people on the plantation that sided with massa for survival. There's all kinds of people that we came from. We didn't all spawn from kings and queens, and we can see the evidence of that. When you are looking at a black woman at a press conference saying, this happened to me, I can explain to you detail by detail how this happened to me. I am on video getting pissed on when I'm 14 years old. This happened to me. And a black woman or a black man can walk by the press conference and call that black woman a liar and say that she just wants money. What bloodline you think they came from? You think those were kings and queens? You think those are descendants from kings and queens? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. There's a huge underbelly, right? I saw this video the other day. There's a huge underbelly in every community. Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, black people, white people. You got your white trash, your meth heads, your trailer trash. Every race and community has an underbelly. All of us, okay? All of us. Every race and ethnicity has an underbelly where you're just like, oh, I wouldn't hang with them motherfuckers, even though they look like you, walk like you, talk like you, right? We all of us in all our communities. I grew up in the South Bronx. There were neighborhoods and corner dudes and chicks that I was like, I don't want anything to do with y'all. I don't care if we fly the same flag. I want nothing to do with you, right? But when the underbelly of a community and a culture is front and center, and that's all you see constantly, that's a problem. That's a problem. Like, who's representing us? That's a problem. The underbelly of our communities are not supposed to be front and center representing us. They're just not. Like, Cardi B should not be the most famous female rapper. She should not. Meg Thee Stallion should not. Amber Rose should not. But this is what it is in our communities. So when is it going to stop to the point now where we're defending the rapists and pedophiles in our communities? Like, make it make sense. 30 years is not enough. The man should be castrated. You are damaged. I feel bad about what happened to you when you were a child, but guess what? You grew up not to be a survivor and a savior. You grew up to be a survivor and a monster. And you preyed on little girls for 30 fucking years. 30 years. And if he wasn't locked up, he'd still be doing it, because pedophiles are broken. They're broken. There's no rehab. There's no jail time that changes a man or a woman who thinks sex with children, that's how I have to live. There's no fixing it. It's damaged. There's no fixing it. It's a retardation of the brain. They are broken. So 30 years is not enough, because if he was out, how many dirty old men are out there? 60, 70, 80, still touching little girls and little boys inappropriately. There's no fixing it. If R. Kelly got out in a week, he's going to find a way via his entourage and his groupies, okay, to have a child in his bed. You cannot fix a pedophile. Can't fix it. Give me 1 second, my loves. Hi to all the new subbies. I got a lot of new subscribers. Welcome. It's always a party here, and I do open up the panel. I want to touch on really quickly. And then I'll open the panel. If you guys want to come up. Be careful, though, because you're not safe tonight. If you're coming up to cake for R. Kelly, you're not safe tonight, okay? You're not safe here. I want to touch on really quickly, because a lot of people are having a difficult time. And then I'll open up the panel. A lot of people are having a difficult time with the music, right? Oh my God, I can't separate, I just separate the man from the music. The music was like so good. It's so nostalgic. I got so many nuts on Half on a Baby. I busted so many nuts on You Remind Me of My Jeep. It was my coming of age soundtrack. R. Kelly was my coming of age soundtrack. Oh my God. Step in the Name of Love is so profound. Oh my God, I Believe I Can Fly. I sang it at my graduation. Just separate the music from the man. No, bitch. No. And here's why. Let's get it crystal clear. And this is me being completely honest, okay? R. Kelly had some really catchy tunes in the 90s, but he's no Marvin Gaye. He's no Lionel Richie. He's no Babyface. He's no Luther Vandross. Y'all are bugging. How could you not separate that man from the, how could you not do it? We're not talking about Luther Vandross here. We're not talking about Marvin Gaye. We're not talking about what's going on. In 20 years, what's going on, when you hear it, it's still going to hit you in the feels. You mean to tell me in 20 years, you're going to hear You Remind Me of My Jeep and it's going to throw you into a nostalgic spell? He had a couple catchy 90 tunes. A lot of R&B cats had catchy tunes in the 90s. A lot of them. Okay? There were R&B groups. There were R&B singers. They were killing from the 90s. You had your Joe, you had your Aaron Halls, you had your Baby Faces, you had your Jodeci's, you had your Silks, you had your Boys to Men, you had everybody was slaying in the 90s, slaying. It was baby making music everywhere. And you mean to tell me that you can't stop listening to You Remind Me of My fucking Jeep? with all the abundance of dope R&B music from back then, now I gotta keep listening to Step in the Name of Love. Next time I go to the barbecue, that's my song still, Step in the Name of Love. Y'all are degenerates. You're degenerates. And that is your degenerate soundtrack. If you can't let that go, you're degenerate. Because whether you like it or not, when you support the music, you support the man. Period. Point blank. Period. When you support them, when you listen to the music, you support the music, you support the man. You support the man who groomed 12-year-olds. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. You can't say, oh no, that I don't condone what he did. I don't condone what he did. But I'm a step in the name of love. You know, because no one else has ever made a stepping song, just R. Kelly. I don't condone what he did. But honey, I got pregnant to half on a baby. Y'all are degenerates. You're disgusting. And there's no excuse for it. You're disgusting. You're a degenerate. And I'm telling you, you're disgusting and you're a degenerate. If you can't throw that baby out with the bathwater, there's no excuse. I'm talking about from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. The amazing R&B music, okay, that has been ringing in our ears for decades. And the hill you want to die on is, I don't see nothing wrong with bump and grind. Let's not get crazy here. The man is illiterate. He did nursery rhymes as lyrics. You remind me of my Jeep. I want to ride it. Something like my sound. I want to bump it. Something like my back account. I want to spend it. We have that. And then we have Lionel Richie. Then we have Babyface. Then we have the Maxwells. Then we have the Neos, right? And the hill you want to die on is, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Oh, classic. So no, I'm not going to believe that for some reason. Oh my God, I just can't let go of this music. You're disgusting. Not to mention, because he has the mind of a pedophile, when he's singing about sex and he's singing about love, he's singing about children. He's not singing about women. So if you can still bump an R. Kelly song and know factually, that he was fantasizing about children when he wrote those lyrics, then you're a degenerate. You're degenerate. And no child is safe around you. And no child that has been touched in a funny way is safe around you, because they're going to hear you, boy or little girl. They're going to hear you championing and campaigning for a pedophile. And this is why the degeneracy is generational in our communities. You guys champion and campaign for the worst of the worst because a motherfucker made you laugh one time. Because he had a sitcom you liked. Because he had an album you liked. Because he's on a radio show and he makes you laugh in the morning. Degenerates. And I call cap. And here's why I call cap. Because in every category, whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's radio, whatever kind of media, there is an abundance of Black excellence. An abundance. And I mean real Black excellence. I'm talking about real Black excellence. I'm not talking about Meg Thee Stallion twerking on stage. Okay? I'm not talking about Future dropping hit albums and getting 8 women pregnant. I'm talking about real Black excellence, because I think people confuse Black excellence with popularity. There's a difference. There's Black excellence, and then there's popularity. And I think that you think if someone is Black and popular, it's Black excellence. It is not. It is not. Okay? So in every genre of music and film and television and comedy and sitcoms, okay, there is a lot of Black excellence, but for some reason, the hills some of you want to die on are with the degenerates, the rapists, the sexual deviants. You have to die on that hill. You can't redirect and say, you know what? I liked R. Kelly music, like we all did. I liked R. Kelly music. This motherfucker's a pedophile. He's a monster. Let me focus on all these other R&B singers that were really dope back then too. Because don't tell me the only album you ever listened to was R. Kelly's when you were growing up. Don't tell me that's the only one. I'm sure you listened to Jodeci and Silk and Boyz II Men and, you know what I mean, Drew Hill and Joe, Aaron Hall and Blackstreet. The list goes on and on and on. I'm sure we listen to all the same music. So for the sake of Black women and Black children, you mean to tell me you can't throw this degenerate, pedophile, vile rapist into a shredder? This is the hill you want to die on regarding racism and oppression? R. Kelly? That's the hill you want to die on? Because there are plenty of crimes, drug convictions. I'll even take assault, robbery, right? Where people of color are getting railroaded in court, right? If they can't afford bail, they're getting railroaded. If they can't afford a lawyer, they're getting railroaded just because of what they look like. Right? There's a lot of that shit going on in our justice system. A lot of it. Right? Josh should get 6 months or probation for weed. Tyrone will get 6 years. It happens. Happens every day, B. So I'm thinking if something should really make you livid and piss you off, it should be that. The pedophile, not so much. Because it makes you look crazy. There are women at the concert yelling, pee on me. Who are you people? Knowing that the girl he peed on was 14 years old. There are women at the concert yelling, pee on me. Google it. Put it in your YouTube search bar. Black women yell to R. Kelly, pee on me in the audience. You can hear it loud and clear. And R. Kelly laughed and threw himself on the floor. Who are you people? You have to hold the mirror up to the degeneracy that you are. You can't blame everybody for everything. So why wouldn't you want to separate yourself from that? I'm Puerto Rican. People always coming at me. You Puerto Rican. Why are you talking about? You Puerto Rican. You can't talk about this. First of all, fuck off. I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And you have the option and the freedom to click away and scroll the fuck on. Let's just make that clear. Because a lot of y'all are wasting keystrokes. You're wasting time. I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Whatever trending topic it is, whatever's on my heart, whatever comes out my ass that day to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. And you have the option to unsubscribe and fuck off. That's your only option. But you're not going to tell me what to talk about here. If Mark Anthony, who's beloved in our communities, in the Puerto Rican community, Mark Anthony is like, oh, he's beloved in our community. Ricky Martin, oh, another one. Bad Bunny, Jennifer Lopez, whoever. Pick a Puerto Rican. Pull a Puerto Rican out of your ass. If I was to hear that Mark Anthony, and I listen to him all the fucking time, you know what I mean? I'm in here cooking, working my burners, mopping. It's Mark Anthony on the speaker. If I were to find out that he was molesting 12-year-old to 15-year-olds, married to 15-year-old for 30 years, he can go play in highway traffic with only 18-wheelers during rush hour and get run over 155 times. am not gonna, oh my God, I grew up on Mark Anthony, and what am I gonna listen to now when I'm mopping? Oh my God, what am I to do? When there's so many other artists that sing salsa. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse for you giving this degenerate a pass. You must be a degenerate yourself. And that's okay. But let's call a thing a thing. Let's call a spade a spade. So I'm confused as to, did you want him to get 20 years like Ghislaine Maxwell got? Because now the new thing is Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's girlfriend, the one who facilitated these young girls going back and forth so he could molest, so Epstein could molest. She got 20 years because she was the liaison. She was the one that got the girls to, you know what I mean? Similarly, a lot of people, R. Kelly's entourage should also be brought up on some charges because they are no different than Ghislaine Maxwell. His entourage, the one that just wanted to be around him because they were popping the bottles and whatever groupies trickled off of R. Kelly, they were able to smash. They should also be in prison, like Ghislaine Maxwell. She was the liaison in that case, right? So she got 20 years. So now y'all are complaining, R. Kelly got more time than her. R. Kelly was raping children for 30 years. 30 years. Oh, but Ghislaine Maxwell only got 20. The way some of you divert to white people is, it's really the most despicable shit I've ever seen when it comes to rapists and pedophiles. It really is the most despicable thing I've ever seen. Well, Ghislaine Maxwell got 20 years. So do you want R. Kelly free? I'm confused. Do you want your black pedophile? Because a lot of your black pedophiles are free. They're free as a bird. You'll see them at the barbecue next time. It's summertime now. So they'll be pulling up. Playing their OJs, you know what I'm saying, or their 4 times. They'll be pulling up, you know what I'm saying? They'll be stepping in the name of love at the party. They'll be there. So is it that? Because a lot of pedophiles and child molesters are free. They're running free. You'll see them at the weddings, and they'll be there in all their glory, eating their potato salad. They'll be there. So what is it? You really can't let go of this pedophile? Really? I will drop the link. Thank you for listening this far. We can come up and talk about this. We can come up and talk about, you guys can come up, talk about your experiences. Have you had a child molester in your family that everybody knows of? You just can't take it, talk about it outside. Why are Black women and Black girls expendable? Why? If we don't speak up for them, who's going to speak up for them? We're already in a system where Black men are against them. We're already in a system where Black men are against Black women and Black girls. We're already in a system where white supremacy is against Black women and Black girls. So now we're going to and help R. Kelly be against Black women and Black girls. Is that what we doing in the 2022? Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? So I'm gonna bring up, shit! Ask Nathaniel is here. What up, baby? Ron DeMarco.
What's going on?
What is going on, gents? Good to see you. my favorite people on YouTube. Jabari, you said a lot, but
I don't
Jabari,
know you, lady. You get kind of reckless sometimes. The last time you got this reckless, I got my account hijacked, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Shout out
I
to
don't know,
Jets.
man.
What up?
I got to walk around Vesta fucking with you, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
first of all, let me say this. First of all, welcome to the panel. Juan, I know you never came up, but Nate, we can't see you.
You know what's funny? I got the little one going crazy right now, so I'm trying to suppress her first.
Yo, Nate, man. Just don't. Man, just relax, brother. Let that man relax, man. Let that man relax. Thank you for being here, Nate. Thank you,
No
man.
doubt, big bro. What's going on, man?
Okay. It's just it's just like when Nate says certain things, you got to see it with the facial expression.
Oh yeah.
You make allowances, the babies are
What do
running
you do to stop this shit? What do you do to stop this shit?
No. We make allowances for the babies. I know how it is when they run around in the background.
Oh man,
running them up.
Yeah, there she go. Oh my god.
Gentlemen, you know what? I really need to hear y'all. Let me turn this damn fan off. I want to hear y'all loud and clear.
What up, big bro? What's the deal, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm doing what I do, man. How you feel, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm multitasking like crazy, man. I said I gotta get in here and support Jen, man, because it's been one of them days. But I'll do the best that I can. I always make sure I put.
Oh yeah. It's always good. I mean, you want to go first? You know, I mean, on the topic, so on you.
Mine's is pretty simple, man. I mean, I talked about this. I talked about this whole situation when it first started. I was actually disappointed that R. Kelly even did what he did. I mean, we going back to the whole situation from Jay-Z and Dame Dash and these dudes just, I don't know, man. These dudes just as the younger girls, man. They into these little babies. They into these little young girls. And it just got to the point, man, where the situation. Listen, 30 years, honestly, I thought he was gonna beat it. Even with the whole nonsense, man, I thought he was good. So I was actually happy that he got that because I was like, damn, okay, good. So unfortunately, it was what it was. But you listen, when you do wrong, bro, you gotta pay the piper, man. That's just come on, man. It was just this shit been going on since the Leah situation. You got a problem, a sick man. And once I seen that the feds was taking all that time, I said, yeah, that's it, it's over.
The feds don't lose, man. They don't.
You know how they do. Feds don't cut no deals. If they do cut deals,
nah.
What he's going to do? He's going to be bringing in mad politics. Exactly. But I think the only thing is now, it may be a situation.
There we go.
Yo, what's going on? It may be a situation where he may I don't know if they're going to be investigating Jay-Z and Dame and all these dudes now because he got his 30 years. He got nothing to lose. So you know how feds do. Like, yo, we'll give you 100 years, but if you cooperate, we'll make you disappear. So I don't know, man. As far as listening to his music, you know what's funny? I think Father's Day, I played it and then it was like, whoa, what are you doing? I was like, oh, you're right. And then it was just like, all right, so it's your boy's finished. So I was doing a live right in the middle. I actually I was funny because I was talking to somebody like, yo, I was telling Jen is more black than the Jennifer Lopez. I was telling these because they was like, yo, J-Lo. I'm like, J-Lo's a cloud chaser, man. She was what it was.
Listen, listen, for the record, I think J-Lo is a white woman who speaks Spanish.
Yes.
I do not. She's a Spaniard. Yes. I don't claim her.
Not very well, actually. Not very well, too.
I don't claim her like other Puerto Ricans do. I think that the whole Jenny from the Block was a gimmick. Right. I always ask what block. If you're from the Bronx, you know Castle Hill is a little different.
Right, that's right. She never named blocks.
Avenue.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You know, she's not. I mean, she wore the cornrows in the music video,
Yeah.
but the J-Lo from Castle Hill never had no cornrows, never wore no Timberlands.
None of that.
I'm like, I don't know what block. So I've always said that she is a Spaniard. She's a white woman that speaks.
What part of the Bronx she from?
Jennifer Lopez, Castle Hill.
Oh, I see. I never knew that. She put the 4, 5, and 6 train, but it's like,
now,
I don't know if you a Parkchester type of woman. Was you in the house? Was you living in Tracy Towers? Like, I don't know. She didn't give me an effect that she really was that girl other than Live in Color.
Right. She's from Castle Hill. She went to a Catholic school. You know, she's one of those like an 8 Mile. Clarence's parents had a very good marriage.
Right.
She had the 2-family home, the picket fence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she's not what the gimmick worked, right? Because everybody likes a hood chick or a hood dude, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it was a gimmick. And if you see her now, you know that it's like, okay, there's a white woman that speaks Spanish. That's okay.
Yeah, that's a full fact. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like, but the whole block thing, I'm like, Jennifer Lopez
I kind of took that as like,
prospect.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Never on no Trinity ad, never on no, come on.
None of that. I've never heard Jen even pull out. LL Cool J used to do this one thing in this pandemic I used to love. He'll be popping up on blocks and have his mask on, and just the camera goes up to the block. Well, oh, damn, he was just over there, like just jumping out the Suburban, I guess, just popping the block. Jen, you had all this time to pop up in the Bronx, step out the Suburban without your bodyguard, just pop up in front of a block. People love seeing stuff like that. She never did that. She never popped. I never seen Jenny on a train. So I just was like, so when I seen you do, you know, on the block with Jen, I'm like, oh, I get it, on a block with Jen. Like, yo, get out of here.
On the block. on the real block, okay?
On the real block. Like, man, you can't listen, when you're talking about the Bronx or any 5 boroughs or anywhere you live, anywhere in the United States, I'm saying, come on, like, as a New Yorker, you gotta name stuff like that. I never felt that she was connected with that. Just ironically, I just happened to see her on, what's the morning show that comes on with what's on girl's name? The one that used to be on Regis and Kathy Lee. She used to be on that show. But she was on a morning show, and I'm looking at her, I'm just like, damn, I never feel that energy, that electric. And 24 hours later, we're talking about the whole situation about what's real or what's not, and then we got to the R. Kelly thing popped right up on the live video. And it was almost I can't even say bittersweet, because I just was wondering what's taking this thing so long. But as a fan of R. Kelly's music, I thought R. Kelly was an amazing artist. But I think this here is going to really, 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 there's going to be a lot. This is only the beginning. There's going to be a lot of people now just like, yo, I got to open my mouth. Like, this is what happens, because these women was just like, yo, enough is enough. Like, if these Jewish and Black women did not come together and put these things together, yo, like, the worst thing you want to do right now in this game, it's a woman's time, number one. My father always said that. He told me this 3 years ago. You don't want to be in the industry, number one. And you think, first of all, the Jews run the game. You're not going to be in a position where you got a Black woman of color, and Jewish women, white women coming together like, yo, this is what this bozo was getting away with for all these years. Now we got to get him. And once they put that documentary out, that was it. So that's just showing you now how important bringing light to something, how it's going to be able to change the whole atmosphere now. Because I'm seeing these stupid comments on here, brothers like, oh, Jen, what's she talking? I'm like, yo, my man, like, are you serious? Like, you guys are never happy. Like, you actually have the audacity to, boy, I can't go crazy like I normally do, but
go ahead, dude. Hey,
it's like you got the audacity to come here and disrespect this woman, a sister. She's a woman of color. Like, one thing I got to understand living in New York City, from the breakdance era, from hip hop, from the birth of hip hop, bombing them trains, and whether we was robbing and stealing and sticking niggas up to b-boying and all that flow is Puerto Rican and Black. Like, you want to do some history to get you a glimpse of what Latins were doing with us in this game, whether we from Brooklyn or we was in the Bronx. Look at Beach Street. Like, these the only woman coming to school shutting shit down before Dominicans, because Dominicans ain't really started doing nothing until like 1990.
Right.
Was Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rican women. They was coming to the school with the same shit, with, the fashion, what they was doing, we was doing. And brothers was coming through with the matching vest, with the matching uptowns on, with the sky blue this and sky blue fitted caps and the gold chains. The Puerto Ricans were coming through, females coming through with the door knockers, the fronts in the corner with the lotto sneakers. Come on, B. Like,
yeah.
It's you just took me back. These clowns are seeing the whole situation. They thinking like, it's like, how do you have a voice on black issues? Are you serious? Like,
exactly. It's just an ignorance of history. And speaking of that whole B-boy era, Crazy Legs is dropping a documentary that's really dope.
Crazy Legs.
Yeah, that's family right there. So he's dropping a documentary soon, but it's like, it's just an ignorance. It's willful ignorance, because it's not hard to find how tight, Puerto Ricans and blacks were in New York City. It's like, all right, you must not be from New York. Like, because anybody from New York, anybody from the boroughs knows how we got down. How you think we all got black Puerto Rican babies? All right.
Yes. That's a fact. Come on, you kidding me? You know how many black and Puerto Rican babies I know? Do you know how many gangsters came up in the game in the crack era? Like, are you serious? Like, I'm in Crotona Park with Puerto Ricans where they're like, yo, fam, you. I'm like, bro, I grew up here. Like, I was around everybody. Like, we was up here in Patterson Projects. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so it's an era where I don't get too offended, because I'm like, they don't know. So it's like, you don't think that this woman is the average Latin woman. You think that just happened to pop off, from the Dominican Republic. You got that wrong and came here and just started doing YouTube videos. Because this woman you ain't gonna get over her easy. I'm telling you that right now. It ain't happening.
Anybody that knows me knows. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna call it like I see it. I don't just, I don't just like, oh, Jennifer Lopez is black, so you got to be on her side. No, she's a poser. Jennifer Lopez is a poser, and I'm gonna call it like I see it, because
that's what we do
from New York. Like, anybody from the boroughs knows she would have got her ass beat coming across Prospect Avenue in that Catholic girl school outfit. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, she could pull the wool over, major media's eyes, because white people don't know about the hood. They don't know about the Bronx. No. So they're like, oh, Jenny from the block. And
dangerous Bronx. That was crazy. That was Bronx. Like,
I'm like, salute her hustle. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's successful in this business, I salute her hustle. But she's not the gimmick she gave y'all. That is all I'm saying. And if you from where I'm from, you know that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
She 100% right about that.
In the song, like Jenny from the Block or Don't Be Fooled by the Rock, she's calling out, Prospect and Trinity. Have you been there? I just want to ask her. Do you know where?
I think Fat Joe's giving her help on that. Like, just say this. Talk some Terror Squad stuff.
It's like the South Bronx. I'm like, have you been there? Have you hung out there?
Oh, man. How do you, the birth of hip hop? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's understand, Latin, Puerto Rican male and female built this up with us. Like, don't ever get that messed up. Like, you got to remember, Fat Joe was founded by KRS One. Like this shit is deep. Like, people don't understand. Like, it goes deep. So y'all got to be easy on those comments, man. Like, you know what? Believe me, if I had my daughter here, I'll be giving y'all niggas the smoke, man. But y'all gotta ask her questions. Don't just sit here and try to antagonize her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't, she'll block you if she do all that. But it's just to understand, man, we're dealing with a serious situation. You got a bozo that was running around here with these underage girls for a long time. Unfortunately, if you were listening to R. Kelly and Aaliyah at that time, you would co-sign it in one way or another because you were listening to them. But now where we're at, like, where do we go from here now? Like,
right, and that's it right there. Where do we go from here? We all did it. I had R. Kelly's albums. I had the T-shirt. Soon as that, but I'm extreme. I know I'm extreme. I see people. What do you think about this? I see people in the chat saying, "Well, the music is the music, and I'm still gonna listen to." But I'm extreme. When I'm done with you, I'm done.
That,
Like
right.
I cut you. I'm just that person, but I know I'm extreme. A lot of people aren't as extreme as me. Once you cross me, like you are, I can't even listen to Drake anymore because he sampled the R. Kelly song, and I loved some fucking Drake.
I'm extreme like that.
I'm extreme. Do you think that I just can't listen to his music and then think about what he did and still enjoy the music? That's my issue. Not that the music all of a sudden turned into garbage. It's just that I can't listen to it and ignore the crimes. That's my issue. But some people, I guess, can listen to the music, ignore the crimes. But when I hear the age 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, as a mother, I can't do it.
No, I respect that. I'm gonna be honest. Like I did try to play the music. You know what was that? A week ago? What was Father's Day?
I think it was a week ago.
A week, right? I did try, and I was reminded. Then I said, "Wow, like I can't even slip a Jay-Z and R. Kelly song on this." Like, so me myself, when something is ruined like that, it does take away. You know what I mean? I'm gonna probably be a little off with it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I could, because I was having a problem doing it before the sentence. I think I'm disappointed to the point where I would never look at or see an R. Kelly song, listen to R. Kelly song or video the same anymore. Now you got the 30 years. Like, okay, granted, some people could be like, yeah, some people support Mike Tyson and he was tried or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but I think Mike Tyson was in jail for a small amount of time where a lot of people did forget about that. You know, it's not like he got 5 years. Like I thought he would have got. He got 30 years. So I don't think we're gonna have a time to listen to R. Kelly that ever. I think the 30 years is going to remind you not to listen to him, at least from my perspective. You know what I mean?
And the thing is this, and I know, listen, I know the shit's not easy. Like every now and then I'll slip up and I'll be singing something. I'll be like, oh, it's
right.
I slip up because you can't, it's hard to, it is nostalgic. It is hard to let go of the music that we played when we were growing up, when we were falling in love. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy for me. Sometimes I slip up and I'll be like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'll be singing something. I'll be like, oh. But then then I think about it. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Right.
Turn on my baby face or whatever. And I'm just saying that if you can separate the man from the music, then do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to your music, but don't attack the victims. There are too many victims involved for you to keep saying this didn't happen.
Right. I think I'm struggling with it. You know what? I don't have a song now that I'm gonna struggle with. So maybe if there was an album that I was like, oh damn, I spoke too soon. I don't think there's an album that comes off of hand right now because I'm hearing, Half of the Baby. I'm hearing whatever's coming to my head. But I'm the type of person that if you play that one album where I'm like, damn, I think that'll be the real test because I didn't like TP2. Bad memories for that. It was a bad time in my life. Bad time. But maybe there was an album that somebody didn't throw at me. And then the real test would be, all right, can I do this on a Saturday and go through this? I'm out in the backyard or whatever. We playing music. Will I be able to do that? I don't think I could because I haven't had a desire to.
Right.
But the real test is going to be if somebody throws one of them albums at me that I forgot about. Because like I said, I'm only thinking of one album, and I only got 3 songs in my head, so it's like, oh, that's easy. But it does play a part. I wouldn't be surprised of myself, but I kind of I'm on your wave, even though I try to tell people to not get on that. But when I am pretty much done, I'm turned off. I get turned off. Once I'm turned off, I'm like, yo, that's nasty. Like that's like being with a woman. I'm like, yo, your shit was stinking. Like, good. Don't ever come see me.
Right.
Like,
I know I'm extreme, so I'm like, y'all are degenerates and stupid and all that. But it's because I'm angry and I'm passionate about, like, yo, let these women are still healing. This is a forever thing. When a woman is sexually assaulted or molested as a child, this is a forever thing. It's a life sentence. Their relationships aren't good. They're doubting themselves. They're thinking, what did I do to deserve this? They're hearing, you know, they deserved it some type of way. So I get angry and I want to fight for them. So that's the passion. But with that said, I know it's hard. Like I get mad because I'm like, motherfucker, I half want a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm mad. I'm mad because I can't listen to that. It's stupid. It was a big part of my life, that music growing up in the 90s. Come on.
Yeah. Best era in the world. Best
so
era.
I understand that, but I'm so rough about it because to me, the victims are more important than me wanting to step in the name of love. It's more important, and there's so many victims. So I have to catch myself. I'm not saying that it's fucking easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I mean, if I continue to do what I've been doing, it'll be easy, right? But you know, I think, like you mentioned, and that's what the things that people keep forgetting when we're speaking on the level of victims. You know, did the actual documentary really hit me? I think what bothered me more, if I really want to go back to it, was those videotapes that I seen in the early 2000s with the pee and shit. For some reason, it's like I was happy with the 30 years because I'm like, yo, that's good justice served. Because now I'm thinking of it from a father perspective. I'm thinking it from well, tons of female friends and female cousins. I was there with it, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, niggas get murdered over shit like that. Yeah. Then there was another issue where I thought about, like, damn, I remember the time when this dude straight just was gargling in this girl's mouth. And I'm just like, fam, like, that shit gonna ruin her. So I don't know. It was that conglomerate of all that came into my head today where I just like, man, fuck it, man. I mean, I knew you wasn't coming home anyway no time soon, but damn, 30 years is more than that. But not enough. You know what I mean?
Right. So well, you got another job coming up. These motherfuckers here, first of all, Keith, Ben, whatever the fuck your last name is, these motherfuckers are about 20 years ago. Y'all was claiming J-Lo and now y'all saying she lame. You first of all, you didn't know me 20 fucking years ago. Bozo, right? Like you didn't know me 20 years ago. I've never claimed her. You're talking to the wrong one. There are people that would die on a hill for Jennifer Lopez too. I've never been one of them, specifically because the whole Jenny from the block and her claiming the hood the way she did and throwing on the Timberlands and the cornrows, knowing that was never her vibe in Castle Hill.
Nobody ever claimed it 20 years ago. What are you talking about, bro?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like, no, you're confusing your Puerto Ricans. Like you confusing.
He's just doing you. First and foremost, Jennifer Lopez technically been in the game for like 33 years.
Hello.
So we know her. We technically know her from In Living Color, dummy.
Right.
So don't even pay attention to that clone corny ass nigga. The nigga go kick rocks, nigga. I'll smack the shit out of you. Yeah.
Right. And it's like again, I salute the hustle, I salute the rank, but no, I've never claimed a wrong girl.
Yeah, but and the reality is that first and foremost, if you got a woman coming from the Bronx telling you that we don't salute her like that, why don't you just listen? Like, I mean, did you grow up on her block, big bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, you just kind of antagonizing to get an argument. Like, don't bring it to J-Lo on the block, nigga. Stick with the R. Kelly thing. You know what I'm saying? You probably mad that he got 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Well, they probably knew. They deserved it. He one of them niggas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ron, what you gotta say? Look at Tristan.
Man, I'm just for the first time in a very long time. I'm loving the New York energy in here right now. We haven't had it on the show in a minute. I just love the New York.
Real energy. New York energy. We've had some New York energy in the past.
Right. This is real New York energy. But anyway, we gotta call it what it is, man. My understanding of all this stuff, it really actually does date back 30 years, man. When I was dealing with the industry and so on and so forth or whatever, and I heard rumblings of certain things before any of the tapes and the whatever came out, whatever, because you know when he first came out, I mean he was popping. Let's just call it what it is. When he first came out, he was popping. He was like, you know what I mean? And so, you know, we all talked about it, like, yo, this dude, and I used to hear things like, yeah, you know, he into this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what? I was like, because the accusations were so wild. I was like, come on, man, that's probably some rumor shit. And then he got involved with Aaliyah.
Right.
And that's when I was like, oh, snap. But quiet as kept, they swept that whole thing under the rug so fast, they didn't even give us time to really think and process the situation. So it was like, yeah, it is what it is, and everybody just moved on. But we have to call it what it is. At the end of the day, for 30 years, man, R. Kelly was literally an economic engine, man.
Yeah. Well,
like people were eating off of R. Kelly. Like people were eating record labels, managers, promoters, producers, other artists. He was writing for other artists. People were eating, and they knew what was going on. I mean, he would have things happening in the studio. I'm not gonna get into details.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But you know what I mean. But he would have things happening in the studio while he's making some record that you might think is like, oh my God, this is the most incredible thing I've ever heard. But in the meantime, this dude has some straight up debauchery going down, and they let him live, man. They let him eat. People were trying to keep their jobs. You know what I mean? And the first time.
And that's the industry in general. Like when you talk about
absolutely, because they did with Weinstein. Weinstein, that's the same thing that happened to Harvey Weinstein. They let Harvey move. They let Harvey move for a while because Harvey was knocking him out the park. He was having hitters coming out. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it in the entertainment industry. Let's just call it what it is. If you making bread, they'll let you live, man. Folks will turn the other cheek. They'll let things slide if you out here making people money. But anyway, you know what I mean? He was doing what he was doing, and then when it happened with the case, and that went down. The funny thing is that the week before I found out he got arrested about the case, I was actually supposed to meet the dude.
Right.
Because my people were actually set up something where I was going to actually, work with the guy. And, because I was a big R. Kelly fan. I'm not even going to lie. I was. I call it what it was. I thought he was a musical genius, man. I call it what it is.
We all were.
You know what I mean? So when I found out and I turned on the news, I said to myself, nah, this is wild. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, this is because the accusations and everything was so crazy. It's like, nah, this can't be real. And then when the tape came out and we saw the tape, let's call it what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when the tape came out and you come face to face with this, I'm saying to myself, it was wild, B. It was wild. I sat there and I'm like, nah, this can't. And then when he got off, I was like, nah, this ain't right, man.
I didn't believe it was him.
I mean, we all didn't want to believe it. Like, it was grainy at certain parts.
And he said remember, R. Kelly said it was his brother. His own
brother. He tried to say his brother. He said it was his brother. Yeah, he tried to say his brother was on it and blah, 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 and all that. And while he was when he beat the case, what was even crazier, though, is that when he beat the case, it's like he came back with even more monster records. So he just came back making people even more money. So it was like when he got off, it's like they fed the lion even more raw meat. You know what I mean? And he just became more powerful and more just in this belief that nothing was going to happen to him. But I truly believe that once they got him again, I said, this is it. He's not beating this. And the reason why I said this is because, number one, it's the Me Too movement headed by white women. And they coming for everybody's fucking heads. You know what I'm saying? Number two, he's not the economic powerhouse that he was years prior. So losing an R. Kelly right now ain't gonna be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? If anything, he's got his classics and so on and so forth. He could probably sell those or whatever. But as a current modern artist, he wasn't the economic engine he was before. So I was like, okay, this guy's vulnerable right now. He's real vulnerable. He might really go down. And once they said the feds were involved, I was like, nah, it's over. It's over. The feds have a 99%. Yeah, exactly. Conviction rate. If you get involved with the feds, you better ask and beg for a deal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
that's what people do. I want to acknowledge this super chat. Sorry I did it earlier. Thank you, Devious J, for the super chat. He says, you are not scared to speak the truth. The hell you say. Yeah. I am not. You can handle it, walk it off, whatever.
But Jen, one thing I do want to say though, one thing I do want to say is that there's a lot of things about a lot of people in the entertainment world that a lot of people don't know about, and it would make them look at them very, very sideways. The Kevin Spacey situation, I'm not really shocked about that.
I'm surprised they exposed that.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah,
I'm not surprised about Kevin Spacey.
I wasn't surprised about that either. I was like,
you know what I mean? I wasn't surprised.
It more now, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like but you know what though? Here's the thing though. I hate to say it. If you're good enough and you're white enough, you could come back. Maybe not in the same capacity, but you can come back. Louis C.K. was able to come back.
Well, hold on, let me ask you. Did Epstein get Epstein? What's the
Weinstein?
Which one? Weinstein. No, Weinstein went to jail. Weinstein went to jail. I think Weinstein went to jail because I think he outspent his usefulness. Honestly,
he got sentenced.
No, he got sentenced. Yeah, he got sentenced. He got 28 years.
He got 23 years in one case. Try him in LA for a whole in October.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so you know what it is? The fact that this is when I knew R. Kelly didn't have a chance, because I know we got to read between the lines with the industry, but I'm gonna say it. There's only two groups that run the entertainment industry.
Oh, the Jews and the
and the gays.
Yeah, Jews and the gays. Yeah, pretty much it.
They run it, and the fact that I seen this man get sentenced, I was like, whoa, like.
Oh yeah. When
New York City, I swear to God, that literally arrested. You know what I mean?
I was telling my man, I was like, when the thing went down.
You feel what I'm doing with that? I know cops that arrested them, put them in cuffs, and they said, "We got this," and they sent the cop up to the Bronx for punishment.
Yeah, I can. You know what? I heard
literally
like that.
Talking like little girl, like, yes, it's him, and they was like, look, click. Who made the arrest? Oh yeah, that's what you're gonna report tomorrow. So,
because such and such is connected,
right? So you know where we go with that. So now, when I seen R. Kelly, I was like, okay, number one, R. Kelly, you broke. On top of that, not beating this case. Your lawyers don't even. Listen, your publicist walked away. He was
right.
And once I seen that R. Kelly was here in MCC in Brooklyn, because he's here right here, literally. I could see the jail from my window. I said, oh, that's it. Like every time I passed the jail on the BQE, I'm like, oh, damn, R. Kelly is in there. I remember when Al Sharpton was in there. Like, I gotta go there tonight. One of my boys is here from out of town. I gotta go see him. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna pass there tonight. So to see that, I said, you know what, R. Kelly doesn't have a chance. But I couldn't see it. I'm like, if he beats it, but then I don't see it. It's kind of like I was on both sides, like, can't be surprised. But then it was like, when I seen that they did that to the Jewish homie, I was like, oh, wait, they finished. So now the example is, I feel now that if this had been 10 years ago and the woman wasn't in the positions that they were in, he would have, both of them wouldn't probably be in jail right now for their time. Mm-hmm. Right now, this is the worst time. I don't even understand how people are not seeing what's happening. You're seeing individuals of this major power going down.
Yep.
And on top of the fact that with Kevin Spacey, like they would never, what? You touched a man's butt? Okay, so what? Put your big boys. Oh no, now they got cases now. So now you got all these dudes that was willing to submit, going into these private parties, did things that they had to do to make that 50 mil. Mm-hmm. I think now that the temperature's so hot, that's just gonna start. They're gonna start doing a lot of these rituals and stuff are gonna start backfiring with a lot of these groups throughout California, New York, because it's crazy right now.
Like so it's open season. It's open season, and to piggyback on what you said, Haran. The R. Kelly thing has been going on, like you said, for more than 30 years. Like when I went to Chicago when I went to Chicago, the Chicagoans was like, it's not news. R. Kelly used to be over at the junior high schools all the time before he was, you know what I'm saying? He was with Entourage. And these are people from Chicago. I'm from New York, so I'm going to listen to people from Chicago because I'm from Chicago, so they know. But they was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, it was known that R. Kelly used to be hanging out with his entourage in front of the junior high schools, not the high schools, in front of the junior high schools. These are people from Chicago saying this.
That was like a regular day.
Like, it's new to y'all. They're like, it's new to y'all, but we've been knew R. Kelly did that out here.
Yo, Nate, you know he used to buy little boys Jordans, right?
He used to do what?
Oh, y'all don't know. There's certain things I really don't want to talk about, but they used to. I'll just say that he used to buy little boys Jordans.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
And you want to hear something? I know a producer that worked with R. Kelly for a long time, and if you, I ain't gonna say his name, but he did the Best of Both Worlds album, both of them. Right?
Okay.
I remember this story with this nigga told me where they was in Jersey or something, and they went to meet.
I know who you're talking about right now.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think I know who you're talking. His name starts with a T.
One particular, like that's my
one starts with a T. One name starts with a T.
There you go. The one that starts with a T.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Because his mom's literally lived blocks away. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They was telling me this story. This dude, and this is not even an underage chick. They went to meet him. This nigga R. Kelly would have 2 chicks under the table tearing his Johnson off while he's sitting there talking. Like, so listen, what we gonna do with this concert? And they both under the table. Bless him. Like, he was on one side of the kinky thing didn't really get him messed up. It was the underage girls, and the state to state stuff. That's how the feds got him. Feds was able to get we got him. He went state to state, so we got him. Kidnapping. But the dude was a hardcore freak. Like, dude was having the 2 chicks suck his joint off in a meeting. Like, just imagine talking to somebody like, so listen, we're gonna do this today, and the girls is down, and he's like, oh no, okay, yeah, so yeah, we can do that.
It's crazy the corruption in the entertainment industry. Yeah. Listen, you want a dude, you know what I mean, sticking a cucumber up your ass while you're holding a meeting, great. Consenting adults, great. Right. I really know how disgusting a lot of people in that business are, of all races and power and money. It gets really, really, crazy, but it's like, you'll leave the babies the fuck alone. Tristan, what you got to say? You've been quiet over there with the memes.
I have no words.
What?
he got the spray there. It said anti-nigga spray. So I like that. I call mine the Black Bozo spray. I appreciate that.
What? What is all this? And y'all saying 30 years ago, so I would have been 4. So I have no idea about anything.
Well, you're old enough to know.
Yeah,
it could be 100 years ago. It's still, what's crazy is crazy, and R. Kelly, man, it's just unfortunate. Listen,
it's not unfortunate. I mean, you did it, and you got caught.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when you were a genius at what you did, and you allowed your actions to destroy that.
Your demons, man. You know what I mean? And me personally, I personally don't think pedos should be jailed. I think they should be put down like dogs.
Yeah, because you can't.
That's my own personal thing. That's my own personal thing. Other people feel otherwise. They think they need to be medicated or whatever. I don't believe in that. I think that if a person has been proven.
You remember what happened real quick? You remember what happened to that coach? Look what they gave him.
Which one?
The one with the track team girls.
Oh yeah.
Which one they gave him?
I think he got like 100 years, something like that.
Yeah. He messed around with them pretty little white girls, man. They was like, oh yeah, we got something. They got something for you.
The cop that got 263 years.
What?
For, sexually assaulting those Black women.
Really?
263
You
years.
got it. I gotta look that up. I gotta look that up.
But this was crazy. R. Kelly got off lucky because any regular person is getting 200 years minimum.
Very lucky. And it's a RICO case. There's some very, very, very lucky situations.
They said 30 years, and when everybody forgets about it in 5, he's out in 7. That's what's gonna happen.
Wow. Well, he has another case though. He has another trial.
Be out of 7.
Nah. This is federal.
Federal, bro. That's it. So
federal. You doing your time federal.
Kelly comes out in 7 years, he's gonna be in the witness protection program, and you're gonna see Jay-Z and Dame Dash.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying if you do all of that and get 30 years,
30 years federal.
Yeah,
so the cop's name is Daniel Holtz-Claw. He was sentenced to 263 years, convicted of rape and other charges after he preyed on African-American women over 6 months. Meanwhile, R. Kelly was doing it 30 plus years and got 30 years.
This was 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And with tapes as evidence, I'm like he snitched on somebody.
Look at it like this, man. If R. Kelly happens to get out early and he goes to the witness protection, keep your eye out for any strange dudes around McDonald's areas, man. And you know what I mean? Like that, man.
He's in a witness protection program when you go to fbop.gov and you see that name disappear.
So, let me ask y'all. Let me change.
But he did say he was going to snitch, though. He said he'll take people down with him, though. R. Kelly did say he would take people down. No, he did say this. He said he will take people down with him. You can look this up, man. He said this like maybe a couple of months ago. He was like, I guess he's just feeling desperate.
Well, remember, feds make their own rules. So they're like, listen, you could talk. We'll give you 100 years. You talk. Excuse me. You don't talk 100 years. You talk. Okay, we'll get you out the slam.
That's why Fed time is so vicious, man.
Vicious.
I'm wondering what's going to happen with the next case because he has another trial coming up.
Is that a state case?
But I'm not sure.
So you know what they're gonna probably do? Feds gonna give him 30, because the Chicago gonna get him. They're gonna be like, well, listen, when you come home in 30 years, you're gonna come right out here and go into the state time. I mean, I happened to one of my men. He came out the feds. As soon as he walked out the buildings, the state picked him up. It was like, okay, we gotta bring it to Virginia.
How much Fed time did he do?
And my man only did 8 years.
Ain't that
he
bad.
Literally was walking out of their jail, bro, and they literally.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he didn't have to stay in Virginia long, but still, he owed them time. So, if R. Kelly gets this, like his federal case is done, as I heard, but it's got to be something now where it's going to be a state or county situation. Because once I knew that they snatched that up, I knew he didn't have a chance. He had no chance, man. Once he went state to state, once you start, let me tell you something. What happens with federal? If you meet a girl online and you picked her up from Jersey, and you bring her into New York, and you basically raped her, that's a federal crime. You done crossed the bridge.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do now. It's like now you have a whole different situation or something, and that could be alleged. Just the fact that let's just say if it's alleged, they're gonna pick that up. Feds are powerful on that level because they make their own rules, man. I mean.
So I just pulled it up right now. So this conviction was for sex trafficking. He's going to stand trial in Chicago this August for child pornography and obstruction of justice.
Told you.
So that might be the case with the tapes. They got new tapes. So,
that's why that lawyer got out of there. He was like, yo, I'm out. They got new tapes. We don't got a chance.
Yo. He's finished. He's done. He's out of here. He's done.
I think it was losing everybody. Yo, I said, I'm done. I said, oh, God.
And you don't got no more money?
Exactly.
Oh, the money. And first and foremost, remember, on a fund me tip, who was even funding them? So whatever he made, that swallowed that up. Because even the feds are like, listen, they want to give you 45, but I could get you 30. But I got some bad news for you. They're still going to pick this case up in Chicago. Not the one from 92, not the one from 2003. I knew one, nigga. Sayonara.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yo, man.
He took his retainer and left. He said, nah, you good, son.
That was a smart man. That was a smart man. So man, you gotta know when to fold them, man. You gotta know when to fold them in life. Be like, yo, look, listen, Robert. Look, Robert.
Robert.
Exactly. Robert doesn't look good. Wish you best of luck.
It's
So
funny.
let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys because the story was viral and you guys came up for the R. Kelly. What do you think about the McDonald's thing?
Look, listen. I'm placed on it on two things. Okay.
What?
I'm placed on it on two sections. I'm gonna look at it from a logical perspective. All right. Look, logically speaking, that's my kid. I only have the obligation to that child. That is the only entity in that home I have an obligation towards. Now I understand where things get sketchy.
Right.
When things get a little bit sketchy. You come in there and you're feeding one kid. These are little kids. They don't know what the hell's going on. They're only seeing one child eating and they're not.
Right.
Okay. Now I have the choice of whether or not should I bring these children food or should I not. That's up to that individual entirely. I, for one, and during my 20s, have been known to feed a couple of kids in the interest of the situation being
at least did it. At least you know,
I fed a few kids here and there because I mean I wanted to make good with the moms here and there in my 20s. Right. It is what it is. You can call it what it is. However, I cannot. I don't want to sit here and say that man should have did that. That man should have did that. I don't know if he had any money. I don't know what that dude was. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with him. Would I have done it? I wouldn't have let those kids starve, man. I wouldn't have done that. Or pull your kid to the side and let him eat the food in the car or something. You know what I mean? You know, pull the kid away from the situation where it doesn't look bad. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. She threw away the food.
Yeah, she snatched it and threw it.
Now that was idiotic. That was idiotic. That was wrong. Now nobody eats. Like, what sense does that make? You know what I mean? Now, if she had an issue and she pulled, the guy to the side. Hey, look, man, I get what it is. I get what it isn't. But can we not have the situation where our child is eating in front of these other children? Blah blah blah. As Black people, man, especially in these situations, man, we got to really work on our conflict management skills. We really do. We really have to understand that everything does not have to end in a scene from hot wives from the projects or whatever the hell, you know what I mean, is popping that week. You know what I mean? Like, we can have an adult conversation where people can come to a rational conclusion, you know what I mean, and say, hey, man, can we just do this or can we just do that? I don't want to create a situation. We can do that. We have the capabilities to do that. We just don't do it. And that's sad. So that's my take on the whole situation.
Very well said. I like the way how you make sure, like, listen, I've been there before. And I think that's a lot of reasons why it's kind of biased if dudes been there before, then they have their personal reasons. I'm going to tell you my view on it. If I'm with a woman, he was with her, right? That's
no, baby mama.
But he lives with her.
Okay, all right. So thank God. Okay, good thing I know that. If I'm with a woman and she got 3 kids, and I just did a video about this, which is ironic because I was talking about somebody else, but then somebody sent me this video. I just caught a clip of it when he was walking out the car, and I didn't get to the end. But anyway, I'm with a woman that has 3 children. I have a 4th one with her. I mean, there's no way in the world I'm going over there with a slice of pizza for my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I mean, right. I'm going over there. I'm with you. I have a child. I'm with you. We together. I got 4 kids, whether I like it or not. You know what I mean? Because I know a dude now. He married a woman. She got 3 boys. He has a 4th boy with her. His whole thing. Oh, he don't get along with the oldest one. This one just sit in the room, play video games. This one right here, he's a bitch ass, and he lost his father. I'm like, my man, Like you got 4 sons, whether you want to believe it or not. You know, you have 4 kids, and you have to face that. So me personally, I would have. Hold on one second. Let me call you back. I'll call you back. Hold on. Me myself, I would have got. Listen, we're at McDonald's. I would have definitely got a Happy Meal for all of them. I would have just bought up some 99-cent burgers. I'm with you. Now, if I wasn't with you and things happen, I end up having a mistake. No, then for me myself, can you bring so and so, something to eat? What? Can you bring them a slice of pizza? I would have still sent the pie over there. You know what I'm saying? Right. Me. Right. And again, I never had a situation with a girl in the past that I dated. I didn't have a bad experience with women with children in my life. Ever. The only thing I probably had was the one me and girl broke up and I got close to the son. I've been raising him since he was 8 years old. And when we broke up, he was around 11 to 12. That's about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't have an issue with women that had children. So everybody's situation is different. Some dudes will be like, oh, F that, maybe because something that happened in the past multiple times. But I'm the type of guy, if I go to a woman's house, I would still come over. I don't go there with nothing in my hand. You know what I mean? Like I always bring something. I don't care if it's some shit she don't drink. Like you got kids, here's a damn dozen of donuts. Or it's half a dozen. You know what I'm saying? That's just me because it don't cost nothing. I'm the type of guy to be in a coffee shop and if I see the bills low and the girl's cool and cute and we talk, I'm like, yo, don't worry about it. I got you. Oh, real? Oh my God. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing. I'm not the guy that's gonna go to the club and buy the whole. My peoples may do that, but I'm gonna go there and tell them niggas I'm gonna spend. These niggas spend thousands of dollars, but I'll just be like, oh yeah, you can have some of that. Sit over there with us in the VIP. But no, I wouldn't have did that. I thought, especially in the black community, there's this thing, the blaming factor. So it's like, that was your kid. I mean, I didn't tell you to have them. And then it's like, all right, what happens now when your step kid gets rich now, becomes a big actress? All of a sudden now that's your kid. Like,
right.
Yeah. So I personally would have shown love. I mean, listen, man, I couldn't even do nothing like that. I'm soft when it comes to stuff. Like, there's no way that I can go there and give the food. And these 3 are sitting there going, hey, they at the door, and I just give the food to the one kid. Like that shit that's greaseball shit to me.
Here's my issue, man. Here's my big issue, Jen. With everything, here's my big issue with everything. And I say this to men, and I say this with the utmost.
Right.
If you got a problem with,
you got a good heart too, bro.
Dating, unfortunately, unfortunately.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You know how I think, bro. You know how I think. Ain't nothing wrong with having a good heart. Nothing wrong with that.
I would say this, man. If you're gonna sit here and say that you shouldn't date women with children, maybe you should be a little bit more diligent about not making single mothers, man.
Oh, that makes so much sense. That I think
I love you. Thank you.
That sounded like 1 + 1 = 2. I don't believe that.
Because you're kind of contributing to the problem that you're running away from. You know what I mean? I'm just
wondering. I mean, with the name of your titles or your videos, it's always black people this, black people that. It's usually something negative. I was wondering, what is your vested interest in black issues?
What was your question? Was I have like 140 something videos on my
in honor of Nate.
No, wait. I love that. So let me answer this guy. So I have over 100 videos on my YouTube. I talk about trending topics and all kinds of stuff. The problem with some of you is that when you see the word black, it tickles your asshole. You're like, she talked about black people today. But when I talk,
it's not really that. It's just
here's what we're not going to do. You ask me a question and I'm going to answer it. That's what we're going to do. Okay, there's your second time on this panel. I told you the first time how it happens here. We all
Okay,
take.
cool.
I'm gonna answer your question, but you're gonna wait for me to finish, and then you can rebut. Okay. Now,
All right, I guess.
when I talk, if R. Kelly's a trending topic. He happens to be black, right? So I can call out what I see. It is my prerogative. It is my panel. If you want to say something different or anti what I'm saying, you can start your own YouTube channel. We're all free to do so. But I find it ironic that you're coming up here and asking me this question. But when I talked about white women and white tears, you weren't up here asking me about white women and white tears. When I talk about colorism in the Latin community, you're not up here talking about, why am I talking about Latins in the Latin community? So I can't, I'm not going to not talk about something because it's going to offend somebody or tickle their asshole. Because it's like, I'm black. Don't talk about black people. If you're not going to come up here and protest when I talk about white women, if you're not going to come up here and protest when I talk about Latin colorism, if you're not going to come up here and protest when I'm talking about an unjust justice system, if you're not going to come up here and complain about that, then you can fuck off. Right. But
right.
Choose,
Can I say this?
Let me finish and then you can go. But you can't pick and choose, right? What makes you feel a certain way. If people talk about Puerto Ricans, they could do it all day and all fucking night. Ain't got shit to do with me. It's about their experience and Puerto Ricans with their experience. I'm talking about my experiences. And if my experiences happen to fall under a trending topic and the pedophile happens to be black, then...
Right. I get what you're saying. He happens to be black, but I mean, it should have been more about him and not about like skin color or anything like that. It could have just been about R. Kelly. But I feel like you throw black in on the topics because you're trying to get people like in an uproar where it gets your views up. Like if I throw black in there, it'll get more attention. It's kind of like trolling.
Okay, so, here's the thing. Well, let me say this. I'm gorgeous and like
yes, you are.
I speak Spanish, right? So I don't need to troll for attention. I've never had to.
That's subjective, though.
Let me finish. My entire life, I've gotten attention since kindergarten. Okay, I'm a very attractive woman. I don't have to do much to get people to come watch me. I don't troll. I talk about trending topics. Some trending topics, okay, rub people the wrong way because they fall under that demographic, right? When I talk about Puerto Ricans get mad. When I talk about white people, well, they don't get mad as much as like blacks and Latins do. They're not as easily triggered. Now, I understand that you're triggered, but you can't come on my platform and tell me I shouldn't have used the word black. What you can do is talk about R. Kelly on your channel and not use the word black. I can't tell you what to do or how to address a topic. You can't tell me what to do. Specifically with R. Kelly's case, it is black people, not white people, not Latin people that are defending him, that are attacking black women, that are attacking black children. It is black people. Now, if it was black people and Latin people and white people, then I could generalize and say, why are all these people attacking these victims of R. Kelly? But it is predominantly 99.9% black people defending R. Kelly and throwing his victims who are black under the bus. Again, I have every right to talk about whatever I want to talk about. If you want to talk about R. Kelly, omit the word black, then you're free to do so. If you want to talk about Puerto Ricans, then you are free to do so. I can't tell you what to talk about or how to address things. You can calm down from my panel right now, start a stream and talk about Puerto Ricans for 4 or 5 hours. Ain't got shit to do with me. Comprende?
But hey, I mean, gorgeous or not gorgeous, either way, there are people that are gorgeous that are pieces of shit. So I don't put all that stock in somebody's look. Okay. I'm not like these dudes on here. I'm not finna cupcake just because somebody.
But I was addressing you saying that I'm trying to troll for attention. I could come up here and cam up and do this, and motherfuckers are gonna come by. I could just do this. I can play with my hair.
Because they thirsty. They think they can lay you down and they probably ain't got no shot.
They are heterosexual males. Are you a homosexual?
They thinking that they gonna get to lay you down, but they ain't got no
males. Are you
they ain't got no chance anyway.
Are you a homosexual?
I could ask you the same thing.
No, I'm asking you, are you a homosexual? You can't ask me that because I'm attracted to men. So are you a homosexual? Are you
I don't know that. You might be lesbian. I don't know that.
I'm not. I'm heterosexual. Are you a homosexual? Because only a homosexual man would have a problem with heterosexual men being attracted to women. So are you a homosexual? If you are, it's okay. I'm all about my rainbow people. But only a homosexual man.
What I said was those guys are gonna tell you what you want to hear because they want to bed you. That's all I said.
So you don't want to bed women? So you're a homosexual.
Did I say that?
Do you want to bed women or men?
I'm not gonna dignify that with an answer. Anyways.
Okay. All right. So then
all I was saying is you would be better.
People, I love my rainbow people. They're on my panel a lot, but you're not making sense.
Right.
When a man says they just want to bed you, that's human nature. Men want to fuck women. Women want to fuck men. It's not an insult. It is innate. It is innate. And if the woman is attractive, the man is going to want to bed her even more. That's innate. That's normal. The only man that would have a problem with men wanting a woman is a homosexual, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with homosexuality, but it's a little suspect when a man is calling out other men for wanting a woman. You don't think it's a little suspect? It's a little strange.
Am I still muted?
No, you're not muted. It's a little
okay.
strange.
Let me ask you a question, bro.
What suspect?
This is the second time.
Is somebody that agrees with. Now I'm talking to Jen. I ain't talking to y'all.
No, wait. No, this is the second time you came up.
Y'all were talking the whole time. Y'all were talking the whole time. It's suspect when somebody tells you what you want to hear and they go, yeah, you right. Because then they just lying. They say whatever they gotta say to get the ass. All right.
But why do you think that people can't agree with me without actually agreeing with me? You only agree with women you want to fuck? I'm really trying to find out where this is coming from. Like, I'm trying to find out what this is coming from. You only agree with women you want to fuck, and then you think that all other men do that? Is that what it is? Do you ever agree with women only when you want to fuck them?
I don't know about all that, but what I am saying is the videos with you putting, it's always got to be about black people and something negative right after you put black, you put something negative right next to it.
You think that black people are beyond reproach?
No.
You do.
Everybody.
Talking about
everybody.
Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem?
But it comes off as weird when it's somebody that's not in the black community is talking about what black people.
You don't know me, but I'm in the black community. You can't tell me about me and mine. I'm in the black community.
How are you in the black community?
I'm in the black community. It's none of your business how. I don't owe you anything.
Sorry, you said a lot, but I
are you in the black community or is the black community up in you?
The last time you got this reckless, I got my account hijacked, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. What the hell? I gotta walk around Vesta fucking with you, man. I don't know.
I ain't gonna be here long, but let me ask this one thing. Since we talking.
Up here, this is the second time he's up here, and he's last away.
Yeah, I just want let me ask one last thing because I ain't gonna be here long. I'm gonna get off.
I can see what you look like.
Just relax, brother.
Let me ask one last thing to Jen.
What you look like. I have a funny feeling that the problem is ugly.
Nah, see, it's nothing. It's nothing homosexual here. I want to talk to the woman. I want to talk to the female. Nothing homosexual here. I want to talk to the female.
But you're on a panel, so anybody can address you.
I want to talk to the female. So listen.
No, why you want to talk to me?
I had to ask you one more. Nah. Huh?
So why you want to talk to me? There are men up here. Why don't you talk to the men too?
I don't want to talk to men. But listen.
Last time you were afraid to talk to the men. So you're afraid again?
No, I let them have their fun and I sit back and kick it. I don't need to jump in everything. We ain't at the barbershop. But look. You want
to jump and talk to me, but there's a whole panel here.
Yeah, because you created the thing. I had some questions. I had one question.
You don't get private time with me, sir. You don't get private.
I just wanted to know.
That's $100.
I understand. What is he saying? Anyways, I didn't know it was for sale. I would have brought my money. But look, what I was going to ask.
You couldn't afford me. I'm not your mama. I'm not your mama.
No pussy's worth no amount of
this guy is just like, no, this guy is just,
Nate, I cut it.
Yeah, cut. You gotta cut.
This guy is just.
See, let me tell you something.
Nate, let me tell you.
Big bro, I appreciate how you did that. If I can't have a brother like this, you see me quiet, I'll just take the camera off. I don't say nothing because see a bozo like that. Let me tell you what it is. This nigga's so thirsty. He's so attracted to you. This is the only way he can ruffle your feathers. And once you did all that, you gave him exactly what he wanted to do. Because nobody pays him no mind. The nigga's a bozo.
I like dragging them though, Nate.
Yeah, you listen. You did what you did. First and foremost, he don't even know your community.
Right.
His action. So that alone just killed it. Because if he was from, he wouldn't have said that. That's like next thing you know, he be going to Fat Joe and asking him, "How you repping the Bronx? You from Puerto Rico?" Come on, bro.
It's the second time. No, the funny shit is this is the second time he comes up here and he has an issue with the men. And I'm like, yo, bro, we over here, we chilling. We was like, yo, bro, we over here chilling. You just over there, bro. You know, these men up here, they got all kind of problem and they over sitting back and let you talk. I'm just like,
he was trying to basically tell, first and foremost, anybody that's bringing the mode of black culture and they of the black race, you ain't say shit with Vlad TV. God damn, nigga. Like, I mean, she ain't no culture vulture. She got a pass, nigga. She is. Oh my! Did he hear anything about? Did you? He wasn't even part of the construction of hip hop. Like, black and Puerto Ricans built this. What are you talking about, dummy? Like, even if he had talked to me, I would have just been like this. I would have just went just like this. I would have been like, I'm good, B, good. I would have gave that nigga this. If you want to talk to me, come on my channel, bro. Let me give you the smoke. I'm gonna do what she do. I'm gonna give it because I know you're a bozo. I know you was a clown. I knew you was a clown the minute you popped up.
So I saw your face, Nate. But it's funny, right? Because this is the second time he's up here, and these dudes, right? They always do this. Like, they're the ones that want to fuck me. They're the ones that have a conversation without wanting to fuck somebody.
Yes.
He's not invited here. He comes up out of nowhere. You men are invited. Now he's in the back chat begging literally to come back in. He said, let me back in. Don't want to talk to men.
Bozo, don't let him back in. Don't even listen.
You have to have private time with me. You have to
probably the prettiest woman. You're the prettiest woman he probably ever talked to in his life.
Right. And he has the chance to be here now.
He'll never get that. Trust me when I tell you. On the street, a woman would have been like, hey, how you doing? She would have looked at me like, come on, nigga. She wouldn't even have looked. The nigga's a clown. Don't even.
He wants private time with me. He wants private time with me. It's not.
There you go. Oh, Satan is man. Yeah, whatever. See, now his feelings is.
You know what it is? You know,
process of the bozo. They get mad. They ask you a question. But see, like I said, respectfully, I'm here at your channel. I'm just listening because you know me. It's all work. I'm like, okay, nigga. Word. See,
I know if you was on your channel, it would have got ugly.
I would have destroyed that nigga. You know that. I would have destroyed. He knows it. He knows it. He subscribed that bozo. Watch him. Drag me in again. Let me come on, B.
He's weird though. He did this.
This is why women be dissing dudes so much. Like, y'all niggas can't even control yourself. Nigga, listen. Try being me for one day, clown. One day. One day. One day, just one day, you probably couldn't handle. Oh my God, what do I do with all these messages in my inbox?
Yo, Nate. I just want to say something real quick. I was going through your videos, man, and you had a cougar on there, man. I mean, she was
the Colombian
I
one.
I don't know if she was in white, man. And you know what I'm saying? But I was flipping through your videos real fast, and I stopped for like a good 10 minutes on that one. I was like, yo, what's up? I was about to hit Jen up. I was like, yo, you gotta get this dude on the show, man.
Oh,
like, yo, you gotta get this guy on here, man.
Oh, yes, they were.
It's funny, like, I do feel sorry for these guys because they don't know how to communicate with women. So they're like, oh,
they don't have, you know what it is, Jenny.
They'll be like, let's start an argument. I'll do the black thing. Okay, that's not working. I'll talk about Satanism. That's not working. I just want to talk to her, but these guys are in the way. Like, I feel sorry for them. They don't know.
That's what it was. And you know what, though, Jen? You got to say that. You know what I like what you said? Listen, I'm beautiful. That's why it is what it is. Like, give it to him. Don't hold nothing back. Like, don't try. You can't be nice and be you can't be nice and be official. You bad, you bad. Like, what is it, nigga? You're mad. What you want me to do? You want me to sign an autograph for you? Come on, B. Like, you
Yo,
mad?
there was this I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. This down south dude, he's kind of, I think he was from Arkansas, kind of a good old boy, whatever, preacher's boy. He came to New York, you know what I'm saying, man, and he tried to holler at the chicks out in New York, man. He got washed within 5 seconds, man. You know
In
what
a
I'm saying? I mean,
second.
and he got washed out within 5 seconds, and he started griping about it. I was like, yo, homie, I know exactly what happened to you. You came out here with that Arkansas swag. You ain't had a sauce.
And no
You didn't have
sauce,
what was
baby.
necessary. You ain't
No
had the sauce
sauce.
that was necessary.
That's
They
it.
told you to keep it pushing,
Get
and now you in your
destroyed.
feelings.
That's
Now
it.
you in your feelings. Look, Jen, listen, listen.
Now, did you see Tristan? I mean, I'm sorry, Haran. Did you see the private chat? Do you see him begging to come back on?
Oh no, he's in here. He's heavy in there right now.
No, but check this out. Y'all have come up here, your own free will, kicking me, whatever. Y'all ain't never begged me for shit. Y'all ain't never begged me to get on. This dude is literally the one that don't like me. Okay, he's literally in the back chat begging, okay, to get back on. He's a creep. That's
But you see, Jen, this kind of
cash app, cash.
No, that's Tristan. That's Tristan.
Yo, Jen, let me tell you something. His behavior is indicative of the main problem that's going on in the manosphere right now. A lot of men are upset if you're not angry with women.
Niggas can't
listen.
I thought it was because KS died.
If you're not immediately combative with women, like you like dudes expect me to just like jump in here and just be on Jen neck all the time. Like for what? She doesn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, she and I have had our disagreements about things and so on and so forth, or whatever. Me and Jen, I mean, behind the scenes, me and Jen get into some disagreements. Don't get it twisted.
That's what it's supposed.
You know what I mean? But behind the scenes, we do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But and like, come on, man. I'm not sitting here arguing with no woman, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see what it is, man. I'm trying to see how it is. I'm not trying to drag nobody.
You're either a homosexual or you're not used to being around women that are attractive. It's one or the other. It's not that hard. Men that are used to being around attractive women don't come up and say, you talked about black people. Why you wearing rules? I don't want to talk to men. He's not used to it. And the manosphere, YouTube has thrown a lot of these lames into a fucking lane where there are a lot of attractive women. There are a lot of attractive women online. So these dudes don't know what to do. They're like, I don't know. I ain't never been this close to an attractive woman.
All getting exposed. They all getting exposed.
They don't even know how to even have a conversation with a woman, man. They don't even know how to even have a conversation. Don't even know how to be interesting. Don't know how to tell a joke.
Raise your sons. Hug your sons. Raise your sons.
I just want to say something in regards to what you're saying in the topic, and I didn't get a chance to answer this. Yes, I will say that. Yes, Black people do want a criminality pass.
Right.
Okay. Now
he's still trying to get back in here. Y'all gonna tell me this ain't creep life? He's still trying to get back in here.
Just give me $100.
This is borderline. Okay, this is borderline. Like, this is kind of psychotic a little bit.
Listen, just give me the $100, right?
He said you a 6. He calling you a 6 at best.
He wishes. That's why he came back, because I'm a 6. That's why he came back. He's so sad.
You wilding out over a 6? You wilding out like that over a 6?
Yo, Haran, right? He gonna say that knowing his name is Chevy Mills.
He felt flattered. Look how he felt flattered. Oh my God.
Oh.
His name is Chevy Mills. You know what he drive.
Oh.
Hug your sons, stay in your sons' lives, because they'll be on a woman's YouTube begging backstage.
Jen, I told you. No, I need more of this, because if there's more, that means there's more women that come my way. What do we not get here? Watch this.
I'm gonna show him how dope I am. I'm gonna kick him out the studio. Watch him come back. Watch how much.
Oh, you said fuck New York. You said fuck New York.
What is it? It's sad. It's like I feel.
Oh my God, man.
It's sad. Stay in your sons' lives. Raise your sons. I'm telling you, they're gonna run. They're gonna run.
Jen, we don't need more sons raised. We don't need that. I need less competition, not more. I don't. Please let your kids be chaotic. I need that. Please. It helps me out in the long run. Okay.
Look at the JR. I don't want to hear commentary on his behavior. I want to see his behavior. Give him a call. Hook him up. Y'all can do lunch or something.
You can. Wasn't he like in his like late 30s and 40s? No.
I don't remember.
Who? Chevy.
Yeah.
Guys.
I have no clue. No, he was in. No, I think he was in his early 30s. I believe. I think he was in his early 30s.
And they spelled the F word like that. Still, that's sad.
Yeah.
I remember when gangbanging was cool in 2001.
Tristan, you got anything on this McDonald's thing? We can't hear you, Nate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me tell you the deal with the whole McDonald's situation. Like I said, the bottom line to it was, listen, you dealing with a woman, you seeing a woman, you married to a woman, has 4 kids, you have a 5th kid by her. I mean, come on, sure, listen, all these stuff is cheap.
Look at him, he came back again. I kicked him from the studio.
There you go.
Yo, just give me the $100.
F New York. See, I told you. Hurt his feelings.
Yo, he keeps on it's weird. Stop being, hug your sons, man.
That's the type of dude that go into the post office and kill everybody.
He's sad.
It is.
And you know what it is? Because these guys, like, their mama's wearing shit, their daddy's wearing shit. And I don't say that insultingly. That's just life. Some people have really fucked up parenting. That is just life, okay? It happens. You get dealt some bad cards in life. His mama wasn't shit. His daddy wasn't shit. One of them motherfuckers wasn't shit. So then they get online and they don't know how to make friends with people. They don't know how to communicate. He probably liked hanging out with us. He probably learned a lot from us. You know what I mean? But because they don't know how to communicate, right? And with women or even men, they have to come up and pick a fight to get attention. It's like, I know, I'll tell them guys they just want to fuck, and then they'll talk to me. I know, I'll just tell her she's not all that. And then
listen, let me tell you something, Jen. What you got to realize is that you ain't no average woman. You can't be shot. You can't be shining on bum niggas like that. That shit just. This is the type of guy he should just be blocked. You shouldn't even be part of your show. That's just my opinion on that. You understand? But let me just go on real quick. In regards to, we have this thing called this simp culture. So anything that you do and respect a woman, you play love songs, you play the OJs, you play Guy, you play, can't say Carl Kelly. It's considered simpy. And the word is corny. I came from the pimp era, so I don't know shit about no simp. That shit is corny. That shit is whack. And only whack niggas talking. So the reality is that Jen doesn't have to. You don't have to prove nothing to these bozo niggas. Like the end of you're a mother. Okay, so you're a mother, right? The reality is that if a dude deals with you, and that's how he gonna look at his son on an independent situation. I'm pretty sure your niceness, you have to level people out because you don't want to be the mean, cute girl, the bad chick. But you're a bad chick. So that's it. End of discussion. My opinion on the whole situation.
Let me block him real quick, Nate, because he's back again.
Block your haters, man. Trust me. You'll get him back. I'm here. I'm supporting you. So you don't need him. I'm his replacement. Look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? You got a decent chat of brothers here.
I do. I appreciate.
These are good brothers. These are good brothers. They got their own mind. They got their own situation. That's peaceful. When I
gotta block.
I see something crazier, I wouldn't join it because I can't even do these panels for that reason. What I'm gonna do? Be yelling? I got family around here looking crazy going on. A nigga like that, I'm like, yeah, I'll block it. When I'm in the studio, come up to the studio. We could talk. F New York. See, that's all along. He came in there with that hatred. It wasn't about you being Puerto Rican. It was the fact that the nigga was jealous.
Yeah. When they ain't got nothing else,
I'm gonna be right back. I'll be right back, Jen. I'm gonna come through my phone. Let me take a. I'll be right back.
Okay. They come up here trying so hard. It's weird. It's weird.
Oh, we save a hoes now. We save a hoes in sin.
I blocked him. He's weird. The dude's weird.
That was hilarious though, because right, he said that, oh, these dudes want to sleep with Jen. I'm sitting there like this. You expect a reaction from us? I said, I'm a grown ass man. I said, I said, you got to physically do something to me for me to react to any type of way. Like, okay, you used your words. Congratulations. You figured out.
Weird though. It's weird. It's like this whole manosphere weirdo rejects running rampant is weird. Like I could never get kicked out of somewhere, thrown out, and keep coming back and coming back and coming back. What part of mental illness is that?
Listen,
only thing that this does is that it conditions you to be resentful of women. That's it. It just conditions you to be resentful of women, and that conditioning, it can act its way out in physical violence, or it can act its way out in emotional violence.
that's that incel shit.
Like he's
that's exactly what it is.
Like, somebody get this man. He's still coming back. Like, how many different ways can I block you, weirdo?
I don't know. I'm StreamYard like that.
Okay, I just blocked him again. Weirdo. I couldn't keep coming. This is, and there's so many men like this in these spaces.
But you gotta remember, they're gonna make another Google account and then come back. That's all. It's just.
And I'll block him again. He's gonna be making Google it until his fingers, they don't have any more fingerprints. I'm gonna keep blocking him.
But everybody asks, what would I have done if I was at McDonald's? This.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem with that dude.
That's me. That's me. Listen, I get everybody. You need the whole block too, and your downstairs neighbors. What's up? Come here, girl.
Here's the problem with that dude, Chevy or whatever his name is. See, the problem is that during the conversation, if you notice, Jen, he was speaking out both sides of his neck. Mm-hmm. He didn't really sound like a very focused or very sure person.
Like last time he was here. Last time he was here, he did the same thing. He's just grasping for straws. Okay, right. The light, but the lights, you don't like the light. But the disco era, but
right.
hamburgers.
Right.
Hot dog. He did that the last time. Like, dude is weird. Change the weed.
And and the problem with that is that when you're this type of person that's basically you're all over the place, you're flip-flopping all over the place, you don't really have a stance. So you're already coming in insecure. Because you're not really sure of yourself. You're not even sure of your own ideas. So, in the presence of other men who are sure of their ideas, you attack it. You attack it because it's everything that you can't aspire to be.
Yo, this right here, the scary part is he is a grown man doing that. That it is because I expect children to act like that, little boys. Like little boys don't, you know what I mean? And little girls, like I expect children to be like, what's the matter with you? No, because I want, he's a man child. Like, please stay in your son's lives. Please stay in your son's lives. This is not good. And there's so many of them.
And going off of what I was saying before, in terms of your question, Jen, we also have to look into it like all this stems from accountability. Mm-hmm. Black people, our culture, we just have a very, very horrid relationship with the concept of accountability because we have a horrid relationship with the idea of authority. And authority in our mind is white people. We have a bad idea about white people. And in our minds, it's like, well, if the authority figure can get away with anything, then why can't I get away with anything? But you see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. This is why you don't. I would say it like this: subconsciously, a lot of Black people see white people as a deity because they see white people as their moral compass of what is and what should be. And if white people are getting away with it, then it shouldn't be that bad or seen as that bad. And that should never be the case. That should never be the case. You should have your own moral compass. You should stand for it and stand on it, regardless of what any other race is doing with other regardless of what anyone else even thinks of doing. Pay attention to what's on your plate. That's what leadership is. When you sit here and you complain about, well, why isn't other people doing it? Well, first of all, if a certain sect of people are in control and they are the majority, or the majority of them have control over what is going on, of course they're going to fudge the numbers in their favor. Anyone would. Okay, anyone would. It's human. We need to also get outside of the myth that, you know what I mean, all white people are bad and all black people are good. No, there's sprinkles of each in both sides of the section. Okay, black people are not morally superior to white people, and, you know what I mean, white people are not, you know what I mean, intellectually superior to black people. Okay, people need to really start questioning their ideas and start questioning where these destructive notions come from in our community. What is the core of them?
I worked for a nonprofit, a Puerto Rican nonprofit, and I was VP, and the Puerto Ricans were stealing the scholarship money. They were stealing the scholarship money. So it's not about, everybody that looks like me and talks like me is good. I agree with you 110%. But like I told that fool, he wants black people to be beyond reproach. No one is beyond reproach. Nobody. No. Specifically a freaking rapist or a pedophile. Nobody is beyond reproach. Black, white, Latin, yellow, purple, blue. Nobody is beyond reproach. And again, that's why I started the stream with systemic oppression is real. Systemic racism is real, but it is not a pass for black criminality. It is not a pass. It is not, I will say it again. It is not a pass for black criminality. It's apples and oranges. Systemic oppression and systemic racism is different from R. Kelly should be free.
Absolutely. I was at, what's up?
No, I said, what's up, Nicole? She said 4 for 4 at Wendy's would work, but he isn't responsible for other kids technically. Now, if he lives with this woman and has benefited from her food stamps, then he's definitely responsible for everyone. I agree, because the lady was talking
that's a fair
about
statement.
He lives with her?
That's a fair.
That's what Tyrone said. Tyrone said that he lives with her, and she was
Wait.
Also, he's dead wrong then.
Hold for a second. Okay, let me understand this. See, I'll have to research this a little bit of myself. My understanding of the situation was, even after I watched the video, was that he was coming over to see his child.
That's what I thought at first.
Okay, well, I'm going to research this further. If he lives in the home, that's some disrespectful shit, nigga. You know what I mean? That he pulled. That's disrespectful. If he lives in the home, those are your children.
Yeah, that's bad if he lives.
Those are your kids.
She was yelling at him. She was like, I get my food stamps on the 7th. And she's like, I get my food stamps on the 11th. So if he lives there, he been eating off them stamps.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Him living there. If he lives there, that changes the whole entire story.
For his sake, I hope he does not live there, because he looks bad now.
I'm gonna look that up, man. I'm gonna look that up even further.
Well, in my serious answer, if you know you got a child with a woman who has multiple kids by different men, if you're asking me to feed one child, common sense is the rest of the kids have nothing to eat as well. So I would just get a pizza. That's it. Everybody share. You move on. I said, you bought McDonald's. I said, more than likely you knew it was going to be an issue because you saw the McDonald's bag. That ain't no kid's meal he had in his hand, right? So the kid's big. So you've been with this woman for a few years. You've known her for a few years. So just avoid the headache, buy the pizza, and move on. I said, feed everybody, because at the end of the day, the kids are innocent, right? These kids didn't choose to be here. They're living in the world of adult decisions. I said, just don't create a spiteful environment, because we all know how kids get. Oh, I got McDonald's. What you got? Oh, you got air?
Right.
I told you. That's how it's gonna go.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, no, he's not obligated to the other children, but it's just human decency. Like I said, I'm not gonna walk in a room. You know, my niece has 5 kids. Okay. I'm not gonna walk in the room and be like, oh, I just got you this toy, or either everybody's getting something or nobody's getting anything. That is human decency. If I have my friend come visit me, I'm not gonna pull out a cheeseburger and it's like, oh, I hope you ate. And it's just human decency. It's not about he's obligated to the other children, but it's human decency. Nobody lets anybody go hungry wherever they are. Like,
Attitudes like that remind me of my sister's mother. My sister's mother sent out a group text of a cookout and then had everybody say, bring your own food. Excuse me? Excuse me.
That is.
Bring your own shit. I'll be playing the music though.
I said, I'm like, this at whose house?
Showed you to bring your own liquor and all that, right?
Exactly. I said, Jen, have your mother give her my number, please, and get me out this group message. I said, she ghetto, and she ain't like that one, but it is what it is.
No, that's not. Just have human decency. You're not obligated to any children but your own. But please have some decency, especially where kids are involved. Like, is that so hard? I understand men are hell-bent. That's not his kid. Fuck that bitch. I get it. I get all the red pill, blue pill, rainbow pills. I get all the pills. But just have some human decency. They're just kids. They're just kids. And on that note, guys, I am done. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And Nate probably got tied up, so I am out of here. Thank you so much, Tristan, for being here and chit-chatting with me, even though you may want to fuck me. Tristan, the same.
What?
I appreciate you guys so much.
Was my name said twice here? Why am I always involved? I'm gonna get a phone call and I'm gonna be annoyed. See, this is the issue.
I'm being an asshole.
Right. For the last 6 years on social media alone, right? Jen trolls the fuck out of me, right?
I do.
Straight like a man with a 12-inch penis. She trolls me, okay?
Haran knows how I am.
I said, Haran, she's worse with me, okay? She is worse with me.
I love you, Tristan.
See, like I love you too, and I'll have to defend this later. Like, oh, you love her, right? I get the phone calls, right? And then I have to show Jen, this woman is crazy, and she's like this. You want me to talk to her? To make it worse, I'm like, Jen, you don't need to talk to her. She's like, no, what's the name? I'll talk to her. I'll smooth all this over, right?
Oh no, so don't even.
Haran, the daily anxiety this woman gives me just off of daily conversations.
Don't. Jen is like a pit bull with the chain on it. No, like seriously. And she'll look at you like, nah, just let me go. Just let me go. Like, nah, son. We're not gonna do that. We're not. Nah, everything will be
okay. Right, Haran, you see how she said my name twice in that, right? You see how she said my name. I'm like this, and I'm like this. I'm hoping this woman is not watching this live, but $20, she's gonna watch the replay, find out when I was on, then watch it through. Then they start sharing clips, and like this. So you want to do this with Jen? And I'm sitting there like this.
I'll vouch for you, Tristan. I will vouch for you, Tristan. I was just being an asshole because of that asshole that was here earlier.
No, I don't care about her feelings. I don't care about her feelings like that. Listen, it is what it is. I'm just like this. Me, you gonna laugh about it. We be trolling the shit. So it's. You know what? I'm turning my phone on Do Not Disturb. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing tonight.
I love you guys. And let's do this again. I don't know if I'm coming back tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then definitely on Friday.
All right. But it's for the July weekend. For the July weekend, man. For the July weekend, man.
For real?
Yeah.
We weren't free.
Wait, y'all got plans for the July weekend?
Sleep.
Nah, I might. I don't know. I might hit up somebody's barbecue. I might.
Okay.
Wait, when is it?
4th of July.
I meant the
You
day.
walked right into that one. You
I meant
walked
the damn day.
right.
Right.
You know
Fourth
it.
of July is on Monday, but they're gonna be celebrating over the weekend. This weekend coming up.
Yeah,
The Fourth of
Nope.
July is on Monday.
Nope. I'm staying home
yeah.
because
No.
people got COVID and they don't think COVID went away. So I'm
I
just gonna.
I'm just getting
Yo,
over it.
yo,
Yes.
like yo, Jen. I don't see nobody with their masks anymore, bitch.
I
I don't
listen, I
see
wear mine.
nobody. I don't see nobody with their mask. I like maybe like out of a crowd, like maybe 4 or 5 people. Most people, nah.
Let me tell you, you know who's smart? The Asians. They all have their masks on. The Asians.
Nope, this is
Yeah.
me at work every day. Me at work. I don't know you peasants like that. Don't be touching me. Like
Oh,
who
you
the
don't work
hell?
remote, Tris? Tris, you
Huh?
don't work remote? You don't work
Um,
remote?
the Fed's not allowing it.
Oh,
Like because we
Oh,
have to
okay.
work on the server, so they're like, we need
Oh,
you have
okay.
to be on the
Oh, okay.
landline connection.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, for your side of tech.
listen,
Yeah.
don't sleep. Wash your hands all the fucking time. Lysol wipes everywhere, especially your phones. Nobody cleans their phone when they come home. Clean your
No,
fucking
they don't.
clean your phone. Clean your phone. It's not gonna help if you wearing a mask and gloves and then you touching this shit all day long. Clean your phone. I
Wipe
clean my
down your computer. Wipe down your laptops.
keyboard, the
Oh,
light
you want
switch,
to hear something
the remote
disgusting?
control.
I'm
The
gonna tell y'all
remote
something disgusting, right? This woman, so all this whole pandemic, right? So this woman's like in her mid 30s, and the whole argument breaks out on the panel, and she says, "I wash my face." I think she said once a month or once a week. I dropped my face. I said, "You do what?"
yeah.
She said, "Wash my face once," and I blacked out. I said, "That is the dirtiest thing." Your face is the number one thing that has the most bacteria on it.
Hmm.
Right?
Your
Because it's
face in your
always
mouth.
uncovered.
I said,
Yep.
"Ah, I
No.
said people are nasty. I'm like,
That's
and
disgusting.
somebody was just kissing them cheeks, right? Just like, oh, I love my girl,
Ugh.
and kissing her cheek. I'm like, oh, I hate people even more.
Hand sanitize after pumping the gas. I'm telling you, I wiped out everything. I don't
Yeah.
care. Every fucking thing. I'm out though, guys. I'm fucking tired.
All
Haran,
right,
I
Jen.
love you. Tristan, I love you.
Good
Tristan, take
night.
us out. I'm out of here.
Um, I'm tired and I'm ready for whatever arguments come my way. I love you all. Class dismissed.
Be easy.
Easy.
All right, guys, that was another one. Thank you for being here and hearing me vent on this R. Kelly bullshit. You know, I love y'all. I love for y'all to be here. Please feel free to cam up next time. I welcome everybody. Just don't be a dick. Keep your mask on. I know you're feeling free willy nilly, but I'm just getting over the damn fucking COVID again. So it's out there. You already know on the block with Jen at Gmail, on the block with Jen on Instagram, and on the block with Jen right here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door for me, please. I would appreciate it. If you want to leave me an emoji, a thumbs up in the comment section, please do. It helps me with the algorithm. Just hit I don't care what you don't even have to say anything. Leave a laughing emoji, a thumbs up, a heart, whatever. It helps me with the algo. And I hope to see you again soon. Ladies, I like to see you on the panel. The fellas are always willing to come up, but I'd love to see my ladies up here. You always have dope comments in the chat. I'd love to see your beautiful faces on the panel. I'd love to hear your opinions on the panel. All right, guys. So I am out. I'm tired because I came straight for the gym. So I'm tired. I'm going to eat. I'm going to go to sleep. All right. Good night.